I'm gonna wait for the jet bridge to go down.
You could barely hear 'em say, don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. I'd rather be an engine than to be the general's boy. It's one thing to be a target, quite another to be a toy. I'd rather be the doctor than to be the dead man's nurse. I ain't got his patience, but I know right where it hurts. When I pull my pants down, you could barely hear 'em say, don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. Hamlet came to see me and he offered me the cup. I said, you must be kidding, things are starting to look up. He just sat there grinning, poured it back into his flask. He said, anytime you need it, all you got to do is ask. But when I popped the question, you could barely hear him say, don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. We'll find you anyway. Now you can be an outlaw, you can be a hero too. You can be anyone you wanna be if it means that much to you. But if you're on the corner hustling for a crumb, then know your need they'll make you please before they sell you some. And when you pop the question, hear 'em say, don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. Don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. I said, don't go looking for trouble, it will find you anyway. Hey, hey.
If you are pre-boarded with us on page number T, just come up to counter 6-0. And last but not least, I believe also release and consumption of alcohol on board is not provided by Cockpit Airlines. We start our boarding process with pre-boarding first, followed by family with children under the age of 6, active military, extra time release that is preferred goes between group A and B. We start our boarding process with pre-boarding first, followed by family with children under the age of 6, active military, extra time release that is preferred goes between group A and B.
We were supposed to be the place here right with it, and we were
my music, so I'm going to Hustlers University 101. I got to get something off my chest. I've been trying to get Andrew Tate to follow me, but he has not been listening to my music. So I'm going to make one song. And I'm not going to make more than one song because it's going to seem too thirsty. So here it goes. The full crash course on how to be a hustler. Let's get it. Alright, number one, stay hustling, stay grinding. Don't get lost in the matrix. Learn kickboxing or another sport so you can defend yourself. Get your body count up. If women have a high body count, get them out of your life. If you can go to Romania, you can have more freedom there. The police, they can be paid. Get around other successful people. Anybody with less money than you is not matter. You can use women and other things to make them into cam girls, and you can build a pyramid scheme. I had to take a second to talk to you guys about Hustlers University. This is a subscription-based service that you can use, and you can learn about ways to maneuver through life and maneuver through the world to build relationships that benefit you and don't take from you like a woman would. Always stay focused. Don't lose track of how much money you have because they want to take it from you. Any girl who calls you, her ulterior motive is money, money. What does she want to buy with the money that you've earned? Then you come into the world, she's going to have everything given to her, and you're going to have to work for those same exact things. So I'm going to take another second to talk about some of the other tips you can learn. Okay? Stop whining about how girls do not want you to be the nice guy. Some girls, Andrew Tate teaches us, they want to be the things he does in the videos where he does like where it's violent. So what you're going to want to do is stay focused on how to network, make money, build a pyramid scheme by using women, but hating them at the same time. If you can learn how to hate them, but use them, keep them out of your life. Keep them out of your life unless you can find a way to build a pyramid scheme to use them to become a top G. Because in Romania, you can pay people and you can don't talk to women with their body count is high. You can use them to build a pyramid scheme to surround yourself by other successful people.
Thank you, passengers aboard Delta Airlines Flight 519 to LaGuardia. Thank you for joining us today. We will be getting out of here very shortly. Appreciate you coming in an orderly fashion with some decency and putting away the luggage you have in the top compartments with some decency for those that come in behind you. We should have a nice flight ahead of us with some entertainment and some not too much weather ahead. We will be getting going soon here. Flight attendants will be coming down the cabin shortly to be preparing the cabin for takeoff. Thank you. Passengers, this flight is equipped with Wi-Fi. You are flying the A320neo, new luxury line of Delta Airlines. We have reclining seats that go all the way in first class, Drinkies and snackies, of course, will be coming down in service. Once we get up into the air, we will be letting you know when Wi-Fi's on. It's complimentary. Personal video and outlets. And safety video will be coming up soon as we take our takeoff clearance here. Thank you very much. What's up, everybody? We'll be taking out of here, out of Denver, Colorado, on our way to LaGuardia International. Should be a nice flight today. Appreciate the patience. Flying Delta Airlines today, folks. Should be a nice flight today. We got some in-flight entertainment for y'all. Once we get up to our cruising altitude up here, right on. Right on, folks. Okay, so this is your captain speaking, the American Anchor, baby. Like I said, we have a nice show. We got to get up to our cruising altitude. We're flying the famous Delta Airlines Flight 519 to LaGuardia with full luxury services on board. Oh, Lord. Our autopilot was off. That's okay. Right on. Okay, so much appreciated. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Oh, we got some ads playing. What's going on? We don't need ads right now. I got all sorts of audio happening. Let me get myself situated here in the cockpit as we get the show on the roll. What's up, everybody? What's up, Ivana? Cuz, Sea South Life Enjoyer, Carver, Mr. Mad. What's up, Rome? Renee. Yes, McCluskey. We took off to a little McCluskey. What's up? NERN? I never know how to say your name. What's up, Cole Burger? Intro, Two Boyles. Never seen that name. Welcome. Elias, alias name. Always say your name wrong. Jimbro Slice. What's up, man? Mena. We got Mena. I believe we got internationals on board. Jessica. What's up, Jessica? Richard. Welcome, Birdie Bound Brian. We do have an air marshal on board, folks, so please be on your best behavior. They may be armed. I cannot divulge that information. Let me welcome Kohlberger Art into his first class seat, as he did purchase a first class super chat there. He did purchase a first class seat there. Appreciate that, Kohlberger. come on down and sit in your seat and enjoy the plenty of leg room today on the Delta Airlines. Full reclining seats. Right on. Oh, my flight attendants. We didn't do the safety video. How are we going to be safe? How are we going to be safe if we're not doing the safety videos? What the? You know what I mean?
Our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items securely in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you. Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear.
I could have shown you the video, but whatever. We got the vibe going. Everybody knows what we're doing. We're on a plane. Everybody knows what's up. Let me say hi to y'all. We got the clouds up. We got the chat up and the camera. What's up? This is your captain speaking. We are now flying our Delta Airlines flight here. Make sure we're flying true, straight and true. We're in the cockpit right now. And we're having issues with the speed and the altitude right now. What's going on? We're shaking. The plane's shaking. Don't shake. Don't be afraid. I believe... Oh, that's what's going on. Your captain here had the throttle just stuck to all the way to the front. We're flying really fast. Oh, darn. I just messed something up. Am I still streaming? I think I am. Okay, folks, we're flying beautifully. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Santino, Steve Strzok? Everything is fake. Why do you want to go to Gary, Indiana? What's up, Mr. Man? Did I say hi already? Cameron, welcome, everybody. The plane is shaking, but do not be afraid. It's just falling apart. That's all that's happening. Relax. Let me pause everything. I'm a little lost, folks. Let me put my camera back and just focus on the show a little bit, okay? Let me say hi. How's your Friday going? Hope your Friday's going well. Everybody see the Fallen State? Good stuff. What's up, Life and Joy? Did I say? Hey, what's up, Willie Powell? We got Willie Powell in the house. Air Marshals, pretzels, please. Flight attendants will be coming down once we get up to our flight level 450, 45,000 feet in the air. All right. Where are we, folks? Friday's here. And I had the news up. I had the news pulled up. As, the stuff going on. Okay. Troll of the week. Wait, what do you mean, Point Fire? What's up, Point Fire? Welcome. I want to say hi to D-Live. Let me say hi to D-Live. What's up, D-Live? I am streaming on D-Live and Rumble. And Twitch. I do this on Twitch as well on Fridays. What's up, Ghost in the chat? Welcome. I'm trying to get BitBot going on Twitch. And I tried all day today. Basically, if you donate, you'll be able to control the plane, basically. And if you donate enough, you could dive bomb it into the ground. You could mess me up. You could turn off the autopilot. Or even trigger a failure in the plane. So we'll get that going. Anybody know how to work that stuff? BitBot, man, can't get it to work. What kind of airline you want a refund? What's up, GMD Jim? Everybody over there at D-Live. Okay, but if anybody knows how to use that stuff, help me out. Is that everybody? Do I have an Eric on board? Excuse me. Do I have an Eric on board? I believe he also purchased a first class seat. Oh, dang. Is this like Eric, like the guy, like Eric from Hamilton? I'm looking at your picture. Are you in the chat? Is this like a buddy from Canada? Eric. Yo, Eric, if that's you, man, hey, what's up? Yeah. Speak up in the chat. That does look like you. Interesting. Hey, Nick Stream, what's a guy got to do to Copilot? What's up, Undertow? co-pilot. I mean, you could call in once we get to our cruising altitude, 45,000 feet. I'll let you know once we get up there. You know, there's a way to do co-pilots in Flight Simulator where you're even remotely in the same cockpit controlling the same plane. It's possible. Nice. So let's talk about, I want to get into some fun stuff, okay? I want to get into some fun stuff, like stuff that I'm just interested in since so much war is being talked about. There's all this tactical stuff I'm into. And there's some details about the conflict, the war, like the actual military stuff, tanks and stuff and strikes and what the heck is going on, like the actual on the ground movements, because some pretty amazing developments in terms of escalation, right? Let me move my mic so I don't have to move it around so much. But escalations, folks. So we're going to be playing Call of Duty IRL. Nick doxing an old friend. You know, I'm just... it's his name. It's his name on YouTube. But what's up, Zeus? Hey, welcome, Zeus. How you doing? Hunter. We got Hunter in the chat. Okay. So let me just... let me get in this. Where was I? Mike Jones. You know, what's his name? Mike Johnson. Interesting stuff. Incredible. Let's see if we get to politicking. Folks, give me a second here. Give me a second here. Make sure we're up to our cruising altitude. Great. Folks, you can call in 760-515-3855. If you want to call in, we're using the air phone. Let me put the number on the screen. That way you can call in. Lines are open and unmuted, so that you can call in 760-515-3855. So, let me kick it off. War updates. A little bit of war updates, okay? What else? A little bit of war updates. I think that's how I want to do this. There's some interesting, cool stuff we can get into. Pulling up my stuff here. I mean, otherwise, how you doing? Friday. I want to do a Saturday stream as well. So we'll be getting into it. Anybody catch that debate between, well, sort of debate between Alex Jones and Nicholas J. Fuentes? If you don't know who I'm talking about by now, Nick Fuentes, pretty banned guy, owner of Cozy, Cozy.tv, where JLP streams. He streams on Cozy. Smart guy. And he recently went on InfoWars with Alex Jones. And they had it was supposed to be like a debate. It was interesting in that this has been kind of they're talking about Israel-Palestine. They're talking about Ukraine wars. They're talking about, you know, what's our involvement. They're showing you the Palestinians, they're crazy, they want to kill. They're showing you the some of the Israelis, Jews and whatever. They want to do collective punishment. And some Nicks are well spoken, as it turns out. And there's been a sort of subtext. There's been a sort of subtext in this past few weeks. I know, Alias, we're cool. Also, you're not entirely wrong, Alias name. Shout out to Nick Fuentes. He's a well-spoken man. There's been a sort of subtext, at least in my world, because my world is all of you. It's you guys, and I pay attention to the other two different voices and all that, but I hear from all of you a lot. And there's been a lot of subtext and speaking on them J-boys power. Okay, I want to speak freely, but also want to avoid certain censors and all that. You'll understand. And there's been quite an interesting, I think, things being demonstrated on how the enemy operates and how blind we are Okay? They had a great discussion. And they agreed on a lot, really. Anyways, I want to go through the whole thing, really. And do a little commentary. And demonstrate a couple things. I had some viewers reach out to me. And make some very interesting comments, you know, about assumptions, really. About Bond and really me as a individual. Where how honest or what I really think about. And people are tense, and they're like, they're watching the Nick versus Alex Jones. They're like, see, he's a shill. See, he's that. But I think some really interesting things were pretty cool. And I want to just give a little commentary. I'm not this like foreign policy expert like those two are, but I really want to put them on display because I really respect their view, their grasp of America, history, and our place in it at large right now. I think they have a very kind of an interesting grasp on the whole thing, but yet stay an individual and give you just a little take on it. I think we'll do that tomorrow. It might, or maybe I'm still thinking about it to be honest, but we'll do it tomorrow. I'm thinking because it's got to have to be an exclusive. It's too bad that these guys are banned on the platforms. It's you know, they say, you know, free speech, but that's long gone. And even conservatives now are for censorship. It's been, you know, they were saying, oh, next it's you, next it's you. Maybe a lot of us saw it as ridiculous. But when they were getting Alex Jones, remember? And then Nick and others, and demonetizations all through YouTube. The Steven Crowder thing. Yeah, Nick Fuentes was on, not myself. Reefers, Chiefers. And they're banned. And so we'll have to do it in an exclusive way, or maybe not show it the video, just because I really want to demonstrate something. And if I can speak about it briefly here, it's that there's something so interesting going on. The divisions. Didn't the Bible speak about this? And there's people, even in my own chat, okay? You guys, there's people who believe them J boys control everything. And I just don't know, okay? I'm not saying yes or no. But they'll, and that's a fine thing to talk about, but then they'll do the blaming, right? It's like, oh, they own the porn industry. I heard a rabbi, this went viral recently, a rabbi is an owner of Pornhub. Is that true? Is that fake news? And so that's strange. I understand. It's not Christian, but the Jews didn't make you watch porn. So that's just my little thing. And so this whole talk between the two of them demonstrated a couple things here that I think is happening in my own chat. And it's so funny, as some of you believe this, and I don't disagree with a lot of what you say. I think we agree on like 90%. And then, but I also believe in anger. The anger is really the cause of so many things. And I'm not gonna blame you guys for talking about that stuff, but this is what I believe. I just want to make this point, I guess, to describe what I'm saying. We'll get into it, maybe watch it, maybe tomorrow, the whole thing. Because in this world, let's say you're one of these people, and I'm not trying to single you out like a weirdo. I'm not trying to single you out like a strange weirdo. I think you're a lot of... Anyways, my point is, it's like in this world where you got these enemies, and you got people who hate Christians, they're trying to replace white people, and then it's like, you have different reasonings for it. It's the Jews or whatever. And you're in this world of enemies. You got Jews and then there's people turning on some of the simplest people, like what I'm trying to say, some of the most honest in this world, where all those people, those enemies, people like Alex Jones and Jesse Lee Peterson are on your side. And it's like, let me just purity spiral and focus on this guy, on these two guys who have such a sophisticated worldview that they've developed over 30 years. You think that, I understand some people, it's like, oh, you guys want them to fight your battles. You guys want Jesse to fight your battles. Okay. But don't be, I hear that the J boys did this to Germany and made them fight. They're saying the J boys are making America fight their battles. And it's quite interesting, the takes. But don't go become like them and then try and force others to fight your battles. So it's quite interesting. people getting lost in the sauce with facts and all that. I know I might be quite abstract here. Maybe some of you understand what I'm talking about. So I want to tease it a little bit. Well, I'm thinking we'll do a cozy or early morning stream tomorrow, and then we'll get in there. We'll dive into the internet and try and red pill people into VR, TikTok Live. I haven't been able to get Omegle to work, but we're gonna make it happen. Okay, so we're gonna have fun this weekend. We got a nice flight. Twilight's already here, and sun is going down. What are you guys thinking about lately? What are you guys on? Huh? What's up, Carver? Thank you for the super chat. Says day 3,279 of ripping off Mr. Mad's plea for Nick to make us some shirts. Seriously, Nick, sell us some shirts. Just draw anchor babies, planes. It can't be hard. You're so right. But I'm like a tortured, and it's so funny because I'm not an artist. I'm not a designer. You've seen my designs, folks. You've seen the background for the JLP. It took me like 12 tries to get it right. So it's funny that I get this tortured artist vibe, but I don't make anything. So I get all the glory of and the, you know how people love their hell. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny commentary? I get all the thrill of being a tortured artist, but I'm not making anything. So I should just I guess I should just slap on some things, but I have some pretty good ideas, okay? I'm at least a halfway designer sorta. And I got a funny glizzy one and some interesting anchor baby merch, okay? I just got to get on Illustrator and make it happen. If I do it on stream, I'm more likely to do it. So thank you, Carver, for the first class super chat. Enjoy your first class seat as the ladies are coming down the aisles right now with drinkies and snackies and service. You're hearing the ding right now. So ding away if you need service. Phone lines are open. 760-515-3855. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you find it like it might be an interesting stream? Because you know, Alex Jones, he's like, well, no, it's transhumanists. It's not Jewish power. It's transhumanists, and and stuff like that, and groups like the World Economic Forum and the Bilderbergs. I don't know too much about that. I believe that's like the political side of all that, and then Vanguard and Blackguard, and how certain names. There's a name he mentions, but this is like a big name in that world, talking about how it's the end for humanity. We're a blight on the planet. And so he's done a lot of interesting work with that, and he believes there's he calls it globalists. Oh, Light of the Twin Lamps! I did forget your super chat. Light of the Twin Lamps, please sit in your first class seat. Your first class super chat reads as follows: if you're going under for neurosurgery, Lord, I'm not well spoken. See, I'm the unwell spoken Nick. If you're going under for neurosurgery and the neurosurgeon is a black woman speaking in Ebonics, you gonna let her pick and prod your head? You know what? I'm not afraid of looking racist these days, folks. I mean, I haven't for a long time, but I don't think I would. I mean, I don't know why I'm getting brain surgery. I hope I don't come out. You know what I mean? Speaking like that. I mean, I am black, right? Remember? Anyways, bunch of inside jokes. I will get to calls here. I'll get to calls here. Hold on. You know what?
Mark from Ohio.
Art, I'll get right to you. Hold on. I wanted to just kind of ramble on a little bit more about what I'm talking about. At least a little bit. If you're following me at all. So, Alex Jones, transhumanism, WEF. WEF has their people in multiple governments. I've reported on this. Right, they have. Hey, what's up, Glasshead? I got Glasshead in the chat. Man, I really, if this is the real Glasshead in the chat, I really like your stuff, man. Right on. I play your music sometimes. I love the Jews. You're saving the world, brother. If that's you in the chat, you're saving the world. We need you more than ever, man. Israel versus Palestine. And this is what this stream is about. This stream is about love. This stream is about love. And I will demonstrate it in several ways. I have a caller on hold. Art, just hold on. I was rambling about this debate I wanted to kind of mention and maybe go through tomorrow. So you got Alex Jones, and he has his view of the world. You know, Nick Fuentes is saying Jewish power is the Israel lobby is really strong in America. And he has some really powerful arguments, like sober arguments about that. You put aside what you think about Jews. I personally, Nick Fuentes believes Jesus is God and the Jews killed their God. And I don't see life like that. And so we kind of have a disagreement there. And so our worldviews may differ a little bit. I'm not going to counter signal him. He's a smart guy doing good work. Look, he has his view. And then it's like everyone wants this purity spiral. But when you put in there Jesse's worldview and anger, it's all fits. It's all. Do you see that if you're really paying attention, there's a grander movement of love. And I'm not saying that people are going to wake up and we're going to save America. I mean, it's most likely a lot of people aren't going to wake up. But there is that silver lining somewhere in there. Don't you see it? Jesse Lee Peterson, the people affected by him. He's influenced others. There's a young people that are awake saying that we're not gonna just be bred out and you know what I mean? Like, they're just not going along with this whole racism stuff. Like that's their fault about everything. There's this awakening of love, and so people purity spiraling. Like, man, Jesse's part of that, so don't trip. That's just my little thing. I'm kind of circling the wagons a little bit. Circling the wagons. You know, I'm a bond soldier, and that doesn't mean I'm my own individual, but I've always been straight up with y'all. So so that's what's up. That's what I'm thinking about a little bit. I got Art from Ohio on the air. Let me put you on, sir. Appreciate your call. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
All is well, Art. How's your Friday?
Man, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just sitting in here on the computer working on some little content, man. Trying to drop a couple bars tonight or whatnot. You know, trying to set the YouTube platform on fire. You know how it go.
Hey, right on, Art. It's always a pleasure. So
check.
Go ahead.
So check this out, man. Can I drop an F-bomb real quick?
Dang, I mean, the sun is down, and you know, folks, your anchor baby captain doesn't like to cuss too much. I definitely avoid it myself. But when we're next streaming, the sun is down. I mean, I don't want to just chill a little bit. We might have youngins, but hey, it's crazy times. Art about to drop an F-bomb.
So check this out. Did you watch the great the Hake show earlier? The Hake show earlier. Not the fake show. Not the late show. The Hake show. Did you watch that great show earlier?
Yes, sir. The Hake Report was live earlier today, 11 a.m. He had a guest, Omar, Third Rail with Omar.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Man, my main man Hake with the good hair, hands off the merchandise, if you know what I mean. Keep your hands off Hake's hair.
Right.
So, did you catch the part where he had the Pharaoh of L.A., Frederica? That
wait,
bro,
you started a war with Frederick already? Okay, wait, I'll let you speak a little. Go on.
Bro, Nick, did you hear when Frederica asked Omar if he liked it Dr. Colin West or something?
Oh yeah, Omar is he doesn't like Trump. And he's what? He's like for Cornel West, I heard at the end of that interview. That's interesting. Dr. Cornel West.
Did you hear how Frederica got all moist in his panties and stuff? He was like, "Oh, you like Cornel West? He just sounded zesty as man, bro. What the fuck?
Dang,
bro,
boom.
Nick, I just had to get the F-bomb out there, bro. With the F-bomb, man, bro.
So I feel like I heard about this guy, and I heard about him a little bit on the Hake Report, and he seems like a bit of like a ridiculous person. What's up with Cornel West? Who is he? What's up with him?
He's a liberal, man. He's one of these socialists or whatnot, and it just tripped me out there. Frederick, I mean, I expected from him or whatnot. He a liberal, man, but this how he just said that, oh, you like Cornel West? He just sounded all zesty, like we was in middle school or elementary school. Like, bro, you need.
All right, that's That's all right. I hear you. The shots are fired.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
let
like, nah,
Frederick respond.
That's me. It ain't nothing against you. I'm
I know.
talking about you ain't saying nothing. I'm saying that you hear like you ain't saying. I'm saying everybody else heard what I heard. You ain't got to throw yourself out there. I know everybody else that's in this chat heard what I heard, and it was like some zesty talking, or what, he a little too old to be sounding all zesty like that. Like, oh, you like him too? Like, bro, calm down, bro. Like, but nah, that's the first thing. But what I noticed about Omar, I try to get on there with Haker, just try to get the little conversation going, is that I noticed that, you got the Omar dude. He says he grew up in the Bronx, and he grew up around black people or something like that, and basically was saying that he's tough and he's a alpha, he's strong, this and this and this and that. And it's like the Palestinian, they screaming and barking, and the Israel people over there, Jewish people, y'all screaming, everybody's all tough, but every time I'm turning around, y'all run into America. Both sides just run into America to get them to try to jump in the middle to fix something that y'all as men should be able to handle and fix yourself. So, I mean, all this tough talking, everybody all saying they tough, but everybody acting all tough over here on American soil. If you want to be tough, go over there to where they fighting over there in Israel and Palestine. Go over there and be tough with them. You know what I mean? I mean, don't be tough over here 2,000-3,000 miles away. Go over there and be tough with them. And then quit asking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know about you. I don't know how to feel about these. Okay. About people, because I'm seeing the crowds, I'm seeing the protests, and I'll see the Palestinian crowds and all that, and I can understand the plight of the Palestinians, but at the same time, in American soil, these huge protests like that, it's crazy. But I'm also seeing these people rip down these Israeli posters of the children or whatever that are hostages, and then like New Yorkers in the street going at him and like trying to beat him up, and and you know what? Look, I don't know. It's like, where was this energy? Like, we need this energy for America. I mean, I know this is an easy thing to say, America first, and but it's true. Okay, let me say the easy thing. Don't get mad at me. But I'm just seeing these people get so mad. Can we get that energy for us?
Where was all this energy when they had this country locked down for 3 years over a dang on code? That they trying to push the narrative again right now? You see a lot of these libtards running around with masks on their face again. They ain't have none of this energy when they was locking down. America for 3 years, their kids were stuck at home, half of them mentally stressed out and on pills from that time on up to now or whatnot. Wasn't getting none of this same energy that they trying to put out at these colleges, they liberal dads or whatnot, these Israel people that's over here, the Jewish is over here, the doctors and the Palestinian people that's over here, that they run around here in America. I wasn't seeing none of this energy or whatnot. And I just think it's a whole bunch of, just a whole bunch of BS. But something that I noticed that when I'm seeing a lot of these, like I seen like a couple videos where I seen the college kids, they having the little rallies and stuff, and it just has me mind boggled, because if this stuff didn't happen over there in Palestine with Israel, I would have never known all this agenda and propaganda they got going on at these colleges or whatnot. And they exposed themselves with all these Israel Jewish people and all these Palestinian people over here on these campuses or whatnot. And I see TNT just waiting to be lit or whatnot. That's all I'm seeing or whatnot. It's a tall tale time of where America's headed to. You got all these different people over here, this so-called melting pot. Diversity is our strength, and I see as diversity is going to be the destruction of America or whatnot. You got a whole bunch of people over here that don't like each other or whatnot, and this is one small thing that's going to take place and happen for America to be tipped upside down.
I see what you're saying, man. I'm seeing like out of like this low standard, this low bar that we have for ourselves. And I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree. And so what I'm trying to describe here is how we have these low standards, right? And so we're okay with all this crazy stuff in schools, for example, just like sex, like they're literally showing kids porn and all that. And then suddenly these Muslims, right? We got the Muslims in the streets and they're like protesting these things, and we're finding strange friends where they were enemies. And I don't know. It goes back to ourselves. It goes back to us. Yeah, we can really. I think we can make it happen. We don't need that many to affect some change here.
I'm seeing that too, or whatnot. Even with the schools, how they pushing a lot of this sexuality agenda. The boys can be girls, girls can be boys. The basically teaching the LGBT stuff in these sex ed classes or whatnot. And I'm just trying to figure out why the American people don't see that we being distracted.
These wars are a distraction?
Huh?
These wars are a distraction?
Well, no, I'm saying that I'm not the wars are the distraction, that you got people in this society that are scared, and some people that just know the fact that boys are boys because they, at 12 years old, that's when they start producing semen. Girls are girls factually because at a certain age, their eggs drop, and that's what makes them a female. Boys don't have eggs, and girls don't have semen. And it's a sad point in time to where you got people that distract them from stuff that we already 1 + 1 is 2, and everybody knows that. But we can't seem to get past 1 + 1 is 2 because you got the liberals that want to stay on adding and subtracting. We trying to move on to what's a college math thing? What's something that's college math wise or whatnot that we supposed to be learning in college or whatnot?
In college, I don't know.
Trig. Yeah, they stuff. Yeah, trick. You said trigonometry or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They stuck on adding and subtracting, and we on trying to get on the trigonometry or whatnot. And it is a distraction or whatnot from what's going on over there or whatnot. But my thing is, I wouldn't care about what's going on over anywhere else, because I just like that dude Omar. He's trying to, just like the Israels and whatnot over here. They want to talk to me about what's going on over there. I mean, which one do you want to be? Are you in America, but you worried about what's going on 3,000 miles away? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how a person can be worried about two different things. And that's
I think people find it's excitement too. There's a lot of like football spirit going on here, in my opinion. It's the sports ball effect, There's a thrill I think there's a bit of a thrill in coming out in support and going out and marching and this or that. I mean, I know there's actual like people, there's like people who are Palestinian and stuff, and they have their thing, and then there's Jewish people out there too. But in general, I think people like this team sports thing going on.
Well, I mean,
nice way to pass the time.
Little
nuclear football.
A liberal might like that, but I mean, I'm not trying to get involved in it, but I don't see nothing funny about a person losing their life or whatnot, whether they ask for it or whether they don't. But my thing is this: when you trying to drag me into it, you know what I mean, or whatnot. Yeah. When you trying to,
have you seen this? There's strikes in Iran. We're talking Syria. Movement of U.S. carriers. Some interesting escalations going on here.
Yeah, I'm seeing it or whatnot. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. But I don't really know what to even think about that. It's just another step towards that direction.
I have this TikTok here I want to show people. Young black lady with, I think, a masterful grasp of the whole thing. So she might be able to answer your question here, or unless there's something else you want to say before we move the wheels.
Also, I mean, I wanted to say something else about your man Omar or whatnot.
Yeah, it's a lot on
everybody's
Omar because some of my viewers may not have seen the Omar interview with Hake on the Hake Report. Can you what are you gonna if you can make it brief for our viewers who may have not seen this interview?
Well, I mean, they would have to go watch it or whatnot. But I mean, even with him screaming, he's a alpha this and he's an alpha that or whatnot. And first thing first is alpha don't slouch in no cheer. Your alpha sits straight up, back a line, straight up, strong back. That's the first thing. Second thing is alpha ain't wearing no glasses and no hat and no building or whatnot. You know what? And especially no glasses, because first thing I'm thinking is either you might be high or drunk off of something. I want to see your eyes, because your eyes is the key to a person's soul.
Yes, Senpaku eyes.
Yeah. And I know whether you being deceitful, telling the truth, or anything else or whatnot by your eyes. And for you to be having your glasses on in a building when it's not when it ain't sunny outside, that's a tall tale sign to me that something that you got going on you ain't being truthful. You know what I mean? A whole person's demeanor, how he's sitting, how he's talking, and how he's looking, lets me know everything I need to know about you or whatnot. Let alone just like the black caller said. That
so wait, what are you saying? What are you saying, Art? What are you saying? Who is it that you're talking about?
Omar with the eyes. Now look at these people's eyes that you got up on this screen. And
I missed some of the interview myself, Art. And I think a lot of my viewers are confused. Guys, check out the interview with Omar. I understand. I understand you didn't. He's not alpha. He was sitting like a beta. I got you.
And you look at these people's eyes right here, whatnot. These four characters that you have on this screen or whatnot. And with these people's eyes right there, whatnot, only thing I see is MK Ultra, liberal, democratic propaganda that's been pushed over the year from these the Democrats or whatnot, broken homes, and instead of fixing the homes, you issue and give them pharmaceutical medical drugs over the counter or whatnot, and they don't went off the rocker. Even with that mass shooting or whatnot up there in what was that, Manchester, Maine or something, New Hampshire or something?
Not sure.
The 22 people got killed or whatnot?
Yeah, not sure. Have they found him?
No, I don't think they found him, but I was just thinking about something earlier. I think it was the Art predicted with that shooting that happened in that school with that LGBTQ tranny popper in Tennessee or whatnot. She shot up the school or something, and the police came in there and killed her. RDR said back then that wasn't going to be the last mass shooting, and you're going to see an uptick in a lot more mass shootings or whatnot in the United States, and the predictions are coming to fruition or whatnot. That wasn't the only. It was another mass shooting. I don't know where it was at, but it was another mass shooting that they ain't trying to talk about somewhere else around here in America or whatnot. It happened over the last few days, right along with that New Hampshire thing. But that's just another prediction that I said. And it's going to keep on happening or whatnot. But America.
Well, thank you, Art. I spent too much time already. I'm going to move the wheels here, sir. Appreciate your call.
You already know. I'll catch you later, Nick.
Call
Thanks
me
for your
again.
time, buddy.
Okay. Right on, folks. I mean, check out Omar Third Rail on the Hake Report yourself, Just check out the interview. I went too long on that. Just talking about he's beta this or whatever, just whatever. Go watch it. Go watch the interview. And I don't know. I like Art. I like you, Art. You're my friend, you know that. But I spent too much time on that. He was like Frederick this, Omar that, like, Frederick, if you're welcome to respond. Okay. So let's get to something. Where were we? War up. Oh yeah. Check it out. Don't you ever say. Not only is she black, she is a woman. Not only black, not only a woman. I know you guys are already judging. But I believe she may. What does she have to say about the Israel-Palestine?
Oh, y'all be perfectly aware of something. When you see Biden start walking back his statements being like, oh, actually, Palestinians don't deserve to be slaughtered en masse in an open air prison. When you see that shit, know that the Democratic Party is absolutely fucking scrambling.
Sorry about the swearing.
They have access to data and analytics on shit that you never even would think to like track and have data on. They have access to that, and they have people with doctorates poring over all that, and they are seeing that the old guard shock and awe tactics that like manufactured consent from Iraq aren't fucking working on the demographics that they want it to work on. Oh shit, cause look, I lived through the invasion of Iraq and then the expanding to Afghanistan. I was young, but I do remember how it was. There were protests at that time, massive worldwide protests against the invasion of Iraq. People knew that shit was wrong from the jump.
You guys are judgmental. Are you even listening to her? She's kind of on it so far.
But because the social media wasn't what it was now, they could control that narrative. They could paint Saddam Hussein,
judges in the chat. What happened to being Christian?
The ultimate evil, the way that they're doing to Hamas, and manufacture consent to drown out those voices, to make those people protesting look like bleeding heart liberals who don't really love their country in the wake of an awful terrorist attack. That's what they managed to do back then.
Yeah, artist. It's the fighting. It's the like. You get me. You get me, bro. You get me.
They think it's going to work now. That's why you saw that huge...
Never listen to the woman, Kohlberger Art says. Fair.
Loud propaganda push on New York Times, Washington Post, NBC News.
We can hardly hear the clip. You are like 10 levels higher. Oh, lol. Anyways, did you catch the part on Iraq and manufactured consent?
Was now... They could control that narrative. They could paint Saddam Hussein as the ultimate evil.
So this is Cornel West? Oh, this isn't Cornel West, Ivana.
They do it to Hamas and manufacture consent to drown out those voices, to make those people...
Bill the Butcher gets it. Look, at least on this, it's okay, manufactured consent. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody lived through that time? Oh, Bush years. I was a kid, so some of you might be able to fill me in, but I kind of remember a little bit of what she's talking about. And that's why, look, whatever you think about Trump, whatever you think about him, I know some of you might chat, he's a Zionist, he's a Zionist, he's just going to get us into war, he just wants to do anything Israel says. Some of you say he's a racist, that he hates, whatever. You guys, whatever you think about him, if you remember what Trump said about the Iraq war. War in Iraq, Trump said, there were no weapons of mass destruction, and they knew there weren't any weapons of mass destruction. Whatever you think about the man, Trump is not part of the freaking war establishment. Okay? Whatever you think about him. And you can call me. You can call me 760-515-3855 if you have disagreements. This is a love stream. But he's not part of that war machine, okay? That's why they hate him. I know I'm just saying something, I'm repeating it, but I think it's true. I think it's true, folks. That's why I remember during that time, 2016, his rise and all that. That's why everybody was against him. I know I'm just reminding you of things you know, but some of you might not know. Everyone went against him. Republicans, Democrats, everybody. There were no weapons of mass destruction. And they knew. I can't remember how he said it, but. So, people are just. Zeus, he says, but if he funds it, what's the difference? I don't know if you know that. I think you're jumping the gun. Weren't you telling me the other day, Zeus, I don't want to put words in your mouth, sorry. But weren't you like for DeSantis the other day? And for you, I could be wrong about you, but you might have been going DeSantis a little bit because of, you were saying, because he's a Zionist, he's going to fund the war. But I'm just saying, I think you're jumping the gun. There's things that you say, and you might be, well, Trump is a liar, but you got to be slick in politics a little bit. And you may, okay, the point is, I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I still think he's that guy. The one who said there were no weapons of mass destruction and they knew there weren't any weapons of mass destruction. I think he's that guy still. Okay. Let me unmute my calls here. Sorry, I had a couple people trying to call me there. 760-515-3855. Ooh, the cockpit is shaking. What's going on? Are we over speeding a little bit here? Let's slow it down. Should be a nice chill flight. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Okay, it's Elvarin C. It's 760-515-3855. Let me just put it in the chat and pin it. That way you can call. Okay, folks. I wanted to show you. I was showing you that lady. Flight's going well so far, I think. Yes, everything's going well. Okay. I wanted to show you some... What the heck is that? There's something playing. It's strange. I think it's an ad somewhere. Oh, frig. Sorry about that. Just hold on, folks. Let me just turn on the AC here. Just hold on for me. I'll be right with you.
Call from
All right. Thank you. I had Joel Friday with me. I had to let him out. Sorry, it took a little longer there. Joel Friday, he's live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You could check out his channel. That's Joel Friday. Let me get it right. Joel Friday TV at Joel Friday TV on YouTube. Joel has left the building, off to enjoy his weekend. And I'm back. Okay, what's up, two boyos? Is there an echo effect? What's going on? There's an echo effect? Test. No, there isn't. I don't think so. I got a caller. Let me get to my caller here while I get situated. Caller, you're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
It's Brian from North Carolina, Nick.
What's up, Brian? How you been, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
All is well. I'm happy to be flying. Can't complain. Weekend's here. Very cool.
Right, it's Friday. It's Friday, right?
Yes, sir. Where you been?
It is Friday. Today was a different day. I didn't work today.
Okay.
I forgot for a second what day it was.
So you're all off kilter.
Yeah. Hey man, that was did you catch the well, you probably watched the Fall of State before it comes out, huh?
Yeah. With 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍�.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're mentioning it because I wanted to comment on something about it. But
nice. Right on. Man, I thought it was a really good episode. I mean, all the Fall of States are kind of like, for the most part, they end up being the same thing. It's just kind of, and it's enjoyable to watch how people react differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it was different. The how do you say? You call them Jews or the Jewish people? What do people call them?
Man, at this point, I don't know. I think it's Jewish.
Jewish.
Yes.
Well, the way that they react to the message, it's like it's almost like they're like choosing to ignore it, like blatantly.
Describe what you mean.
It's like they hear it, and they agree with a lot of it, but then in the end, it's something holding on to them to where they can't, fully see it for themselves, but yet somehow they'll still agree with things that you really wouldn't be agreeing with if you didn't see it.
Gotcha. Like it's a really, the worldview really differs, and here's what I see. If you're following me a little bit, I guess it's surprising. I don't know how to say what I'm saying. Like, I guess you don't really think that you meet people, you're like, okay, they have their beliefs and their belief systems, and then religion is like a part of it. But then I saw 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍� and other guests like that, and it's like, no, the religion is it all comes from it, the belief system. Am I making sense?
No, yeah, you are making sense.
I see that it has a more influence, and I think amongst them, I think it comes from this tradition that they've maintained. You see them out there here in Los Angeles. There's a big Jewish population. You see them out there with the families. They walking out with the big families, multiple kids, and they're out there enjoying taking a walk. And you see these big families with tradition. If you're following what I'm trying to describe, it seems like the whole law of Judaism seems to have a deeper effect on Jewish people and a lasting effect because they've maintained it as such. It really is a entrenched identity or something that they've really drilled in. You know what I mean? They've really drilled it in.
I want to say it reminds me of like when people refer to other people as being stuck in like the cave days, or you're like caveman days, where you hold on. You're like so simple, but the thing that they're holding on to is actually like the thing that's hurting them.
Yo, are you talking about? I'm trying to understand you. Are you saying like the thing they're holding on to? It's like for example, like it's like chill out. Jesus already came, kind of thing. Like heaven is inside.
Oh,
you
100%.
You don't have to trip about all this laws that you've been tripping about for like 2,000 years.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like not just Jews. When you think about it in that context, it's everybody's been tripping about it, but Jesus already came.
Right. Everybody has, but they have the idea of the belief. It's like you said, it's so entrenched inside of them.
Yeah.
It's almost like it happened to them. It's a reality. They're like a part of that.
Yeah, they call it the law, and it's this written law. You know what I'm trying to describe? And it goes back to the stories of the Pharisees and all that. I mean, when you really see it in that perspective, you see the whole world has become the Pharisees, and they're still tripping about the same thing. Are we on the same page? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, you made a good point when you said it happens to everybody. Everybody has the whole, whatever story people have of Jesus and God and the Bible and everything like that. It's wrong for the most part. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like I know like exactly what happened, but I can see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And what most people believe is just completely wrong. But most people aren't taking it that serious enough. You know, most people love living in their hell like that. And so do the Jews, but they don't see it that way because they're so entrenched in what they believe is the law.
Yeah, it's like a deep culture. You got to overcome even that. You got to even overcome culture. I think that's such a good example of that when I say, or when you hear it said that you have to overcome culture. I think that's a good example right there. You're so into this law that you don't realize freedom is right there when you just stop tripping. You don't have to make... You know, it reminds me of what they say Jesus is the... They say that Jesus was what? The completion of it, of the word or whatever. And I think it's exemplified in that. What did he say? He said the greatest commandment is to love all. And it's like, okay, world, you don't have to trip anymore. Jesus came. You just have to love all. And then you will do all those laws that you're tripping about naturally.
Right, because you can't actually do anything. You can't of yourself. You can do nothing. Right? We know that. I know that. Well, I know that to be true. So, and if he told us that, why would he tell you that you need to try and follow these things? It's a misinterpretation, just like you're saying. It's the way it's done is not through a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. And it's something we can't do. You just got to be aware of it. But most people aren't aware of it because they're so focused trying to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm seeing people, like you're saying, interpreting things. I don't know, guys. I'm not as like scholar, so maybe I'm wrong. You guys can call me and disagree. But I'm seeing people out here take these like biblical prophecies, right? They say they're gonna build a third temple. And, you know what I mean? End the world. And then have you seen these like Orthodox Jews that are in the streets on the side of Palestine? And they're out there just protesting against Israel. And they're all like Orthodoxed up.
Whoa. You saying Jews on the street against?
Yes.
For Palestine against Israel?
Stepping on the flag of Israel and burning it up. They're out there in the streets protesting. And it turns out that they too have their interpretation of the law, and to them the law says that Jews are not to create a nation on their own. They have to wait for God to do it, that they are forbidden from doing so. So Israel is actually blaspheming or something. So you got people out here with all, you know what I'm saying? Like they got these prophecies going.
Yeah.
And these prophecies are about like ending the world and stuff. They're not just playing around. They're like.
Even Cornelia East that we just saw up there.
Cornelia, that's
she
nice.
She was saying, I call her East too because she's actually saying a lot of good things. But even that though, you know, her falling into that idea that she knows exactly what it is, you know, and it's just
like I think we can fall into like a tribalism, but things can be the same. A couple things can be true at the same time. This Cornelia East could be one of those educated people tripping about, right? Like Palestine and stuff. Give her another 10 minutes on the camera. When is she gonna, you know, what's the next she's gonna say? And that's why we gotta decolonize America. So on one hand, that's something true. We don't need that. But at the same time, these people who've been like in the universities talk, I guess, on the opposing side of Israel. They've been doing it for a while, and I don't know, it feels like maybe conservatives kind of ignored it because they were the left. And now we're seeing like a mobilization of left and right in Congress and all that for war and all this. And now this conversation is a little bit more interesting than all this time we've been ignoring. You see what I'm saying in a bumbling way?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do. I understand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Right on, Brian. Well, anything else you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Oh yeah. Do you watch baseball?
No. I haven't been watching.
Are you aware of the World Series?
I mean, I know what it is. What's going on with the World Series?
It started today.
Okay. Who's the big team?
And, Well, I'm shooting for the Rangers, but I wanted to mention to you that George Bush threw out the first pitch. That was funny.
George W.
Yeah, George W.
No way. How serendipitous. George W. Bush, first pitch. This is amazing. Thank you. Some Americana here.
He didn't make it to the plate either.
No way. George W. What a guy.
Right on.
This guy's a legend.
That's all I got, Nick.
Right on, Brian. We're going to watch this and get into more in-flight entertainment here. Thank you for your call. Call me again.
Will do, sir. Take care.
All right. 760-515-3855. You can't call in. George W. I hope I don't get copyright striked or anything. Let's go, Bush. Let's go. Look, you gotta have like that's not serendipity. Nick says use name. I know. I'm a butcher of English. I need to chill. I need to calm down with all this destruction of English. But you got it takes a certain swagger to walk out on the world stage when the dominoes that you flipped.
Steve Strack.
Hey, Steve, I'm gonna get right to you in a moment here. Hold on, Steve. It takes a certain kind of swagger to come out like this on the world stage at such a time when the precipitous effects of whatever domino he tipped over, George W. back in those years ago. We're seeing a lot of that kind of come to fruition. Hamas, Hezbollah. Right. So it takes a certain kind of swagger. After going on the world stage and basically telling the world we're liberating Iraq. I'm a liberator. I'm here as a liberator. I'm throwing this pitch as a liberator of the free world. George W. He's just got a way about him. Wait, so did he pitch? Yeah. Throw that ball so that I can move on and not get copyright strikes. Nice. George W., ladies and gentlemen. I got a call. Let me get to him. I got Steve Strzok, New Jersey on the air. Thank you, sir. How you doing?
I didn't realize I moved to Ohio, but nice.
How you been?
So real quick, I've been well, man. I hope you're doing well, too.
No complaints here.
Nice. But before I get into what I want to ask you, so about this George Bush thing, I'm trying to find it on my Twitter. I can't. I guess I didn't like it to bring it back up. But there's, how, I don't know if you know this, but in sports, there's all these baseless conspiracy theories that it's rigged. Like it's planned and everything else.
So NFL's not rigged. No, I'm joking. I've heard of this conspiracy theory, but I have no information.
I'm actually I wasn't planning on saying this, but I'm actually doing a show tomorrow night about this.
Oh, cool! About conspiracies and okay, no, hit me.
Yeah.
So
so the NFL, is it actually rigged or is it scripted? I mean, is it real or is it scripted? And I went on a crazy rabbit hole about this. But
okay,
it's actually not why I called.
Nice. Rumble?
Yeah, on Rumble. Yeah,
nice, man. I'll drop it in the chat when you're done. I'll check it out myself. I've always wanted to hear about this one, in fact. So because opportune time.
So to sell it a little bit, I guess. So with this whole thing, with George Bush, there was a theory that 23 years ago when 9/11 happened, it was 2001, and he threw out the first pitch during 9/11, and the Arizona Diamondbacks were in the World Series against the Yankees. And so with the NFL this season, there's been this whole theory about it's been a certain anniversary with 9/11. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on 9/11. Something about the Jets. All this crazy stuff, And then this is where people say that they're doing the rituals. There's rituals in sports. There's all this stuff that makes it scripted. And I don't think that's actually what makes it scripted. But I'm not trying to get into that. That's actually not why I called.
Gotcha. Well, thanks, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I wanted to get your take on something. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. And I've asked my friends, these people around me what they think. Jesse and everybody on the network talks about the ego, you know, and it's like, have you ever actually looked into what the ego actually is?
Like as in when you say what the actual ego is, what do you mean? Like
So the theory in psychology, like where
Gotcha,
this
okay.
whole thing about the ego came from.
A little bit, not too much.
Right. So the word in Latin means I think. But I've been looking into Freud's theory, because I think this is where it really started from. Is Freud came up with the whole thing of, the ego, the id, and the superego,
Yes.
to kind of develop like the quote unquote three selves and all that. And I've been thinking about it because he basically says the id, which is like all the natural desires that are inside of somebody. So it's like that's the sex drive, the libido, like all that stuff. Seeking pleasure and desires. And then the superego is your morals and values. So, like how society has shaped you, kind of like what you were just saying before about the J boys, the culture that has shaped them into, how they go about with traditions, being very community minded with the people around them. And then the ego is in the middle of that. So there's the id, the superego, and then the middle is the ego. And that's apparently, according to him, the mediator between both. And that's who you really are. And so then he links these principles to all of them. So like the id is the pleasure principle, the superego is the moral principle, and then the ego itself is the reality principle. And I think about it because when you apply all thoughts are all lies all the time to this theory, it makes 1,000,000% sense, because the id is like, oh, I got to go out and hook up, I got to drink, I got to smoke, like all those, desires, and like people that live off the chaos inside of them, which is still thoughts, like they're the emotions and the feelings. But the superego is all the morals and values that like, oh, I can't do this, that's wrong. I can't go to this place because these people are bad. That's where the quote unquote judgment comes from. And in the middle of it is the actual like ego self living in reality. And it makes me realize that all those selves are all fake anyway. So even trying to come up between and figuring out who are you between all those different selves, it's all fake. Like there still is a spirit that gets neglected in all this. Like people trying to say that you can compartmentalize yourself into 3 different selves, but the spirit doesn't do that. You know what I mean? And it's just fascinating because all thoughts are all lies, meaning the feeling of I got to go have the drink or hook up, or the feeling and the thought of, oh, I have this moral superiority of I'm better than you. And I think that's where a lot of Christians are stuck. And this is where even the J boys are stuck. Hear me out on this. I hope you're following me.
I'm listening.
Because they have this unnatural drive to fulfill something. But that natural drive to fulfill something, whether it's biological or not, it's still from the emotion of anger, to see something come to fruition, to progress towards something. Then you throw off somebody who lives from that super ego of all the morals and values, culture, traditions, and everything else. Of course you're going to get completely complex and fight over all these different wars and everything else. Like, it makes complete sense.
I think I'm following, man. Abstractly, it reminds me of how, basically, in its simplest, in a simple kind of anchor baby way, it's like they say good, they say bad, but they're both a deception. You know what I mean? Like a left hand, right hand path. You can compare and argue all day long, but they're both wrong. The answer is Christ.
Yes. And that mediator, if you apply the theory to it, the ego, which is what they call like I said, Freud uses the reality principle to that. Christ is reality. Like you live in reality when you think about that, and you can mediate between both of those and understand that this is fake, that's fake, but there's still like a legit divine way of living where, like you were saying before, all the commandments and everything else kind of flow through that naturally, and you just live from that place.
Amazing.
You get that,
love.
Right? Yes.
AKA.
Yes.
Yeah. I sort of get it. I'm leaving space to discover it in my words where I'll be able to, describe it well. But that's very thought-provoking for sure.
Right, because I've gotten to this point where, the silent prayer is fantastic and doing all that, but I'm kind of, obviously, the more I observe myself, I'm like, wait a minute. the time when I feel good and I'm like, yeah, I got great energy and everything's kind of flowing and I'm just going at it, I'm living from that place. You know, like just because things are lining up and you might be doing the right action, you're kind of at least for me, like I go unconscious and I'm just kind of going with like, oh, I got this good feeling from doing something that leads to this, then it leads to that. And if you don't catch the thoughts and slow down, you don't realize you're just serving that feeling, which is what they call the id. But if you go super crazy, like you can Bible thump, you can Jesse thump, you can Sigmund Freud thump and be super, moral and, live in that headspace where it's all just words and the intellect. And you can't make like real life decisions because, oh, I can't do that. My morals are affected. And this is where all the woke people live. They all live off the knowledge that they have of morals and values. Like they don't have real morals.
So then how do you so then what rubber meets the road moment then? What is the ego and how do you deal with it?
So I think the ego is all thoughts, all lies, all emotions, anything that you really takes you away from just being. And I can't explain that. Like I think now where I'm at is everything that I've learned, like even culturally, like I grew up Catholic. And so all that stuff, just having to de-learn all that and then realize like, oh, wait, it's just all tradition. It's just all based off of different emotions and everything else. Like, yeah, there's truth to it. But the real reality between all of that is taking it for what it is. Oh, that's cool. And letting it be revealed. And that's just how I'm living now. It's just letting it be revealed. Like, this is what it means to even be moral. Because even to be moral, thinking that it's like when people say, oh, but Jesus said I can do this. And then you ask them a question. Yeah, Jesus said you can do that and what you should do in the Bible. But who's telling you to do that in the moment? You know what I mean?
Huh.
Have I gone off the deep end here?
Well, there's some abstract concepts here that I
know.
I don't know if I fully grasp, but when you talk about the ego, I could definitely relate. And for me, the ego is the spirit of Satan. Yeah, I know that there's other people who've called it different things, like Freud and all that.
Right.
But that's just how I use that word, ego. It's the spirit of Satan in your mind, working to make you think this or that, to make you make decisions, to make you think that the voice in your head is you.
Right.
That's how I see the ego. So I have some people in the chat. I have some people in the chat who have probably never heard about any of this. I want to kind of give them a little take here. Steve, anything else you want to say before we move the wheels?
No, it's fascinating to like it with all the concepts that get thrown around that Jesse talks about.
Yes.
If you don't understand it from the spirit sense, you just take it as words. And I just looked into like what the actual ego is, and the more I'm realizing, like I was already doing this stuff naturally before throwing words onto these things, and even throwing the words onto it, it confused me even more. And just living and just being, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. Even that happens to so many Christians. They'll get into it, right? It's like, now I'm a Christian, now I know this, and they end up complicating things that were already fine,
right,
before ever becoming a Christian or whatever. All right, Steve, I'm gonna move the wheels here.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for your call, sir.
Later.
Nice. Yeah, I got some people in the chat who probably maybe not aware of what we're even talking about, the ego and all that. London, if you're in the chat, do you believe that you are your thoughts? Are you your thoughts? Are you the creator of your thoughts? If you're in the chat and you want to respond to that. If you find that an interesting line of questioning. I got another call. Let me get to it. Dang, we're flying.
Oh, Aaron, see.
We got callers. I mean, content. I mean, hold on. All right, who do I have on the air right now? Caller, you're on the air. Oh, sorry, you're unmuted now. Caller, you're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Howdy, Nick. It is the real Mr. Matt.
What's up, Mr. Matt? How you doing, sir?
You know what it is. What is going on, Nick?
All is well. No complaints here.
So I just wanted to keep with my own theme here of, going into the unconscious and You know, the whole John Titor thumping thing.
The what? Oh,
you know, the John Titor.
I remember you mentioning him. The time traveler.
I got to keep with my own theme. You know,
the time traveler.
The time traveler dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
All right, so now that this is unfolding, this whole like, you know, Israel nonsense, like I have no investment in any of this because I don't know, to me it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But it's just interesting that, again, this is something that old boy was back in 2001, I think, or 2000. He was mentioning all this stuff. So I pulled up a couple of these quotes. I guess that people were asking him questions like, you know, oh yeah, that's, you know, what's this going to be about? That kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Let me see here.
So these are quotes attributed to
from the original posts.
Gotcha. Attributed to John who? Titor?
John Titor, yeah.
And he is a purported time traveler.
Purported, yes.
Purported,
absolutely.
yeah. I can't English.
Purported. But all right, so somebody asked him because you know he posted on some forum. I think it was Art Bell's. Matter of fact, so I don't know if you're familiar with Art Bell.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Art Bell, Into the Paranormal.
So you know he felt comfortable, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
Exposing himself there. So somebody asked, does the current relationship between Arabs and Jews have anything to do with the coming war? So I don't know if you remember me telling you, but supposedly he said that there was a third world war in his timeline. We're on track to like meet his timeline, but the fact that he came here and all this other mess
we may be in an offshoot timeline because of that.
Yeah, it's like a butterfly effect kind of thing. There's
gotcha.
Like supposedly alternate universes and all that. Again, I don't fully believe
so in John Titor's timeline, there was a third world war.
Yes, but for his timeline, it happened in like 2005, I want to say, or maybe 2015. I think that's what he said, 2015. But it started around 2005. But so in his string theory version of like universe mathematics or whatever. The fact that he even showed up here alters ours and has like a butterfly effect kind of deal.
Gotcha.
To the point where,
that's
our
the theory
timeline,
at least, right?
That's the theory, right. Ours can get altered by, let's say 20 years, right? So we're coming up on however long this is. So anyway, does the current relationship between the Arab and Jews have anything to do with the coming war?
Okay.
Real disruptions in world events begin with the destabilization of the West as a result of degrading U.S. foreign policy and consistency. This becomes apparent around, for him, 2004, as civil unrest develops near the next presidential election. The Jewish population in Israel is not prepared for a true offensive war. They are prepared for the ultimate defense. Wavering Western support for Israel is what gives Israel's neighbors the confidence to attack. The last resort for defensive Israel and its offensive Arab neighbors is to use weapons of mass destruction. In the grand scheme of things, the war in the Middle East is a part of what's to come, not the cause. I don't know, this is weird. Like, I get it. Like, maybe, he's got 23 years of insight.
I was laughing when you called me about this, like, what, years ago now?
Well, it's like when you first started your show, I think I was like one of the first callers,
One of my first callers ever.
Like
whatever, Mr. Mad.
I know, and that's the thing. It's like
I'm not laughing anymore.
I don't even fully believe it. I don't even fully believe it. But it's just one of them things where it's like every year something goes on, and I'm like, and I remember this because I read this back in 2003. So this was already 3 years after he had wrote all this mess,
I'm not laughing hard anymore. Let me inject a little. We'll call it. Let me inject a little common sense, maybe a little more sober point, or am I counter signaling John Titus because I have ulterior motives? It's up to you to decide. But okay,
it's whatever.
I think
I'm just bringing entertainment to the table.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
No, I love it. But John, these predictions sometimes. For example, when did he make this? When did he say what you're saying now?
In the year 2000, so 23 years ago.
Even in the year 2000, I mean, even in 1960, even in 1948, maybe, on the creation of Israel, I think there's people. I think if you were aware of what was going on, had a little bit of knowledge of history, and
Which I don't.
and saw America's nuclear capabilities and the world wars and all that, I think any person, even in 1948, could have a prediction like this.
It's possible, and
you know what I mean? Because
I agree. I agree.
You see it play out. Okay, Israel,
Right.
and then the Allies, and you could kind of see it then.
I guess you got to get the bigger picture of the story, because it's not just this. It's not like he just predicted the one thing. It's several different predictions. So I mean, you got to have like a very keen, like sense of whatever, like the future, I guess. I mean, like it like I said, it's not just this. It's other things. It was like stuff about CERN, like that. Whatever, that circular facility that like smashes particles and all that. It was about technology. Like he brought up stuff like, everything's gonna essentially be decentralized. Like instead of like you have your own TV show essentially, right? You're not relying on the big networks to deal with this. A lot of the things as far as like the disruption of the Constitution, like they are gonna take our rights from us. And again, it's like, yeah, you're right. A lot of people could have predicted this, the
if
Twilight
you have any
Zone,
kind of,
especially.
it clearly takes a like a masterful, it clearly takes a particular type of person who has a particular grasp of the current zeitgeist, as some people call it, or the prevailing culture of the times. And it takes a particular person. I'll grant them that. It's not like a a layman's job.
Or
but I think it's possible that
team.
someone with a grasp
Right.
like that to make these predictions is not entirely. I mean, you're making these predictions in 2000. Everything he's saying, decentralized. Those were all the signs were there. I mean, now we get to say in retrospect, it's easy for us to say. So I can be impressed by how difficult it may be to make that prediction. But I'm just being the skeptic here. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Me, like I said, I don't fully believe in any of this. It's just that, like I said, every year or every few years or whatever, a bunch of stuff happens, and I'm just like, wow, like it kind of, is on the right. Like a lot of people have made predictions. Like I said,
I think these people who made these predictions, John Titus is not the only one. There's a famous one. I mean, you hear about him over the years, Nostradamus, and I'm sure others. I really think a lot of these people.
Nostradamus didn't really say it, like clearly. He
Gotcha.
Like a lot of things are subject to.
Oh, gotcha. Very vague. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
like something like this where he says.
Where he's like
right,
Israel and all that. I mean, it is a particular. But it's not. I know I'm being a skeptic, but it's not that. It's not. It's in the realm of possibilities. And Nick is shilling for anti-time traveler cause. I was waiting for someone to call me out. I'm basically okay. Maybe I'm an anti-time traveler shill, or maybe I'm just being a skeptic. You decide. But
you could be both.
In the realm of possibilities, nuclear war because of a conflict in the Middle East. I think a lot of people were making that prediction in the 2000s.
You think so? And I haven't heard of it in the 2000s. Like I was. Well, when I first heard this, like I said, 2003. Like you gotta. Well, you gotta keep in mind that before 9/11. I don't know. Like people weren't really thinking of these types of things.
I guess I meant that time. I guess I meant 9/11, right? That was 2001.
This was pre 9/11. So whatever he was mentioning was all pre 9/11. So he did mention a lot of things regarding losing your rights.
Fascinating.
Like, essentially, whatever the Patriot Act was going to usher in. It was just, like I said, it's just interesting because like I had that, knowledge of the before, 9/11 times, and then all of a sudden you see all these rights getting stripped away from us.
Right. You were awake through that, right? I was a kid.
Oh, I was.
You were totally paying attention.
I think I was 21 when it happened.
Right.
And that's when I first became I don't know, conscious of the news and that kind of thing, because I didn't care about it.
A lot of people did, right? A lot of people joined the military.
It flicked that switch at the time because at the time I just got out of high school, a little bit, a couple years out of high school.
A lot of people joined the military then and all that. No, they
did. Yeah,
they were activated. Like, hey, we got attacked. It's time to go.
What's funny was I thought it was kind of foolish at the time because everybody kind of joined together for a week or two.
Yeah.
Everybody was just pro America, and it was great. It was fine, but it's just it just shows you like this whole fake ego kind of like, like, oh, now we got a sense of, duty or whatever. And it only lasted about a week. And then after that, everybody was back to hating on each other. So it was just kind of interesting to watch as it happened, But like I said, after reading, I read.
Any other predictions he made?
Yeah. I mean, there was tons of stuff. So, like I said, he mostly brought up a lot of stuff about how we're essentially going to get the Constitution ripped from us, and in his future, one of the biggest elements was like freedom. Like the fact that we shouldn't have these leaders, I guess, making big decisions for us. One of his here's a checklist, I guess. Says, 1, according to the Constitution, who do you think has the final word on choosing the president and why? That's his number one. I don't know.
Oh.
Something. Number 2, do you think the Electoral College should be continued? Number 3, why do you think the Bill of Rights was written? Number 4, what is your opinion of the Second Amendment to the Bill of Rights? 5, does anyone know what industry is the largest U.S. political contributor? 6, does anyone know who owns the majority of the solar power research and development company? 7, imagine you have all the money and power you desire.
These are questions they asked him.
No, he's asking this to his audience, I guess, like whoever's been.
These are going to be important things.
He's just like I guess this is from his point of view, like this is what caused his future essentially, because he sees like us as civically ignorant sheep. I think those were his words. We live in waste, he said that, he cried or something like that when he came here and saw these big box stores with all this, massive amounts of like produce that just goes to waste and food and, whatnot. So he said, imagine you have all the money and power you desire. What do you see yourself doing? Right. So, I guess that's a nod to all the billionaires out here, or millionaires, multimillionaires. 8, what is the longest distance you've ever ran and or walked at one time without stopping? So, like this 15-minute cities stuff, maybe he's not into that. 9, what is the longest period? Huh?
He's saying, what was he suggesting with that?
What is the longest distance you ever ran and or walked at one time without stopping? I'm guessing it's like one of the things that
I heard what was this famous Army Ranger said? He's like a well-studied Army Ranger. I forget his name, but he said, if you're not fit, you're dead.
Yeah, and I think one of his things was like, when the S goes down, like you have to be able to like ride your bicycle 100 miles,
But why?
Know somebody, because you never know if you need a new water source,
You're talking about bugging out?
Yeah, I think it's something.
That's usually a horrible tactic.
Bugging out?
Bugging out where? Let's say you live in a city.
Well, if you're in a city, you're probably dead, according to him, anyways. Because he claims that they strategically. Well,
I think that's like I think that's like a commonly repeated, like SHTF, like when ish hits the fan scenario fantasy thing to repeat. But
well, you don't think the cities would be like a mess? Number one.
Well, they say they'll be. I guess depends on like what catastrophe, but I guess what you're talking about is a serious like world-ending catastrophe.
Saying nukes.
He's like saying nukes, I guess. Even nukes. Where would you bug out to? Let's say. What I'm trying to describe is that's like a commonly repeated thing. But then I've been reading like because I'm a bit of a nerd. I've been reading like military tactics stuff. I'm talking Sun Tzu to like JROTC, current military stuff, and bugging out is actually it's a really risky and bad tactic. Like it's a last resort thing. Like you usually bug out. You only bug out to a fortified position that has food and water already set up. And most people in the city don't have that. Straight up, we just don't. So in our fantasy, we're thinking of, okay, let's bug out to the rural area. People in the rural areas don't want you there, and they've been collecting their resources, and they've been they've already thought about how we're going to keep the city people out. We're going to shoot them, you know, in a situation like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
well,
bugging out in a military sense is you only bug out to a position that you have already previously fortified with a static stock of food and water. People misunderestimate static stock.
He did mention that. He said, you know, find somebody within 100 miles of you that you trust with your life.
Yeah.
You know the whole thing about, like, you know, how long have you walked, you know, without stopping? I think it's just, you know, like, if you need to forage or get some food or do something, you know.
The real tactic is staying in place, actually, fortifying your position.
Well, like, all right, so with the bug out thing, like, you know, stockpiling stuff like that, you're just making yourself, you know, like a target, right? Because if they know you, I mean, that's assuming they know that you have something, but looters and all that, they're going to find you eventually, you know. And like I said, maybe the cities aren't the best place. Yeah, if you're in the country or whatever, you know, they happen upon your property. Yeah, go ahead and, you know, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I don't think
I mean, also, after reading, you know, looking, just kind of like, you know, I'm not trying to be this smart academic guy. I'm not, but look, I've been reading about these catastrophes. You know, they're pretty catastrophic moments in recent history in many nations we know now, in Russia and Europe, world wars, etc. We're talking some pretty incredible stuff. Lots of people dead, famine, okay? And even in their worst times, these nations didn't fall apart. People still went to work. They still paid their bills. You know what I'm saying? The social order, this fantasy we have that the social order will collapse.
Well,
I mean,
but you got to think about the difference between what's going on now, currently, what has been going on, you know, versus, let's say, a nuclear strike. You know, like
right,
like
that's
I said,
different. That's like we never even faced that. So yeah, I'm talking about stuff that's in the past. You're talking about stuff that may happen. Yeah, you're right. We've never faced what you're talking about.
Right,
so
we've never faced
all these
but,
tactics
like
I'm talking about out the window, 100%. And it's all theory, anyways.
It is theory, but like I said, I mean, what he was, you know, alleging to is the fact that, like, I don't know if it's Russia or China or both, but that you know, we're gonna get hit as the U.S. for meddling, you know, with the Middle East, I guess, and they're gonna hit all the cities and the forts here in the United States. So yeah, the country's gonna survive. You know, he even said that, like, Russia doesn't see the common you know, person or American or whatever as the enemy, or China, whoever does the deed. It's just obviously our government, you know. So it's not that they want to obliterate all of us. They just want to basically get rid of our government, you know.
I mean, it depends on who you talk to, right?
What do you mean? Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what people's intentions are. You know?
Right. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I see the Russians and they're like, I mean, they're like, I'm with Alex Jones. But the Russians, they're trying to defend themselves. They're trying to make more babies. They're trying to be Christian, but they're also getting bullied in the world, and they don't want to take it no more. But then you look at the Chinese.
The Russians would see us?
Say again?
Do you see that the Russians would see us, like just the common, everyday, average Joe, as their enemy, or do they see, like, you know, our administrations, you know, the Congress and whoever, you know, lawmakers and whatnot?
I don't think people are that discerning. Honestly, I think...
Which people?
In general. I think people in general are not that discerning. People...
I'm not following.
What I mean is like, there may be some who think like that, and they're able to say,
well, I'm saying, like,
well, it's not the people, it's the government. But I think in general, most people don't even think that far. They're robots. They're just input-output. And when...
when I say Russia...
Right, I'm answering your question.
Who have the power to attack.
Say again?
When I say Russia, I mean the people who have power to attack us, let's say. You know, the people with those,
so you don't mean the Russian people.
On the trigger.
You mean the the people who are leading Russia and calling the shots. You're saying those people don't see the American public as an enemy?
Right. Do you see or I don't know.
In my opinion, no. I think we've seen that a lot, from Putin all the way to many of his people. We've seen over the years them speak about America and how America is under that it's under a they didn't say this word, but that they're under an occupation of sorts, that they're under a spell of they're being demoralized, and they got to go back to this their true ideals. You know, Putin and people over there speak in that way. So I'd have to, in my opinion, I think that points to what you're saying. I don't think the leadership in Russia see the American citizen as an enemy.
Yeah. Right.
You look at I think you could see other ones.
Yeah.
You know, I think governments of foreign countries commonly see not just the government but the people as an enemy, because it's the nation is made up of a people. And although maybe Russia may not see us that way, I don't know if a lot of that side of the world sees us that way. I think Muslims, Jews, and Chinese see not just the American government, but
and the people, right? Because they see us as lazy, you know.
Right, and I'm talking about those governments over there, not the Chinese people, but like the Chinese leadership and maybe Muslim leadership. It's the people who they're against, right? The people
the ones that would
the American people who want liberty, who want free speech, that's antithesis to, let's say, the Chinese, the CCP. So yes, the people are an issue.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is just like talk. It's just kind of my opinion.
No, I agree. I completely see the, like the governments of China, especially if they're oppressing their own people. Like, what do they see us as? Like they see us as sheep, just consumers, lazy, stupid,
Maybe a little bit.
Sure they would love to. Yeah.
I've seen some Chinese, like memes on their social medias, and they'll call us like racist and stuff, and that we mistreat blacks and stuff like that.
That's a big conception outside of the country, honestly.
And and other things. There was, hey, Mr. Med, I spent a lot of time with you, my friend. Anything else you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Nothing at all. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Call me again. Of Air and Sea, are you still with me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, sir? You're on the air. Back-to-back calls, folks. I hope you're enjoying the calls. I'm treating my audience a little badly, those who want to see the content. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the calls. I sure am. Of Air and Sea with us right now. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hold music. I forgot what I was even on the phone for. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to everybody.
I got you on speaker. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. Maybe a little bit closer to the phone would help us, but otherwise it's
all right,
clear.
I'll just... Anyway, so...
Oh, a lot better. Thank you.
There we go. So, yeah, what's going on, man? Hopefully all is well.
No
you said... I've been meaning to call in to talk about this for quite some time. It's been quite a while, but meaning to. I was going to do it originally on, Hake Show, but just haven't gotten around to it. And that, of course, is your guys' you guys are all guilty of the Trump worship, of course.
Let's go!
And it's really... You guys are one of those channels where, half the things, I feel like I learn a lot, especially at JLP, all faults are all lies. We were talking utter brilliance comes from you guys, at times. But then the Trump worship, though, it's like, what happened, So I just have to rate my experience as just good instead of very good. But
what are you, one of them DeSantis guys?
No, DeSantis banned free speech in Florida. Absolutely not. Right. So anyway.
Well, speak freely. Go ahead.
Right. So as far as Trump goes, you had talked about. You said what did, as far as being a war hawk, like calling for war, etc. As far as Trump goes, well, that's actually one of the first things he did. I was in the Navy at the time. In 2016 during his election. I remember we were all very happy and cheerful. And but I remember as soon as he got elected, it wasn't even 2 months after he was in office, that's when he decided to have those 60 missiles launched at Syria. Do you recall that?
Syria, this is Trump? I kind of recall that, yeah.
Yeah, it was as soon as he got elected. In 2016, it was right off the jump. And me, up until this point, I think a lot of us felt like idiots back then because we did fall for the Trump deception. I mean, when he started calling them fake news, I was just like, this is our guy. It looks like our savior has truly come. And, I look back on it, I'm like, God, what an idiot I was for thinking that. But, 2 months in, again, when he did that, and again, I was active duty at the time, I realized, I was like, damn, this turns out this one's just like the rest of them, I'm afraid.
So he is a forever war guy, you say?
What he did launching those missiles at Syria, it was a lot of missiles, right? It was 60. I met sailors here and there that, on that, destroyer that did such. And yeah, I mean, it was just, 60 missiles, as far as the damage that it caused. And this was all just because of, do you remember why it happened though? Are you familiar with the cause? Like what they said? Okay, so the media was saying that Bashar al-Assad, they were saying that Assad was bombing his own, or gassing his own people.
The Assad stuff? Okay, I'm somewhat aware of this. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Assad,
but explain to me,
out,
because I don't. So they're saying, they were saying it was claims from the State Department that Assad was committing war crimes and had chemical weapons against the Syrian rebels.
Right.
It was was it Hezbollah or Mujahideen?
No, it was just Assad. It was just
it was rebels in Syria in that country, and it was
they were saying that Assad was gassing his own people because I guess you could say, I don't know if they didn't. I don't know if they had a full scale civil war or anything like that, or if it was just a couple occurrences. I don't know much
and
about that situation.
There were rebels in Syria, right, trying to do the civil war, and the rebels were backed by, was it America?
Well, America always, we take the bad guys in a lot of times, especially Yemen. Yemen's been in civil war for like the last, decade or more, and we my carrier was over there. We were bombing civilians there too, So, but anyway, as far as the al-Assad thing, a lot of people don't know this, but Syria has an extremely high Christian population, and I forget what side the U.S. backs, but either way, the whole thing is. When it comes to like this Israel-Hamas situation, you know damn well all they do is just sensationalism. They just hype it up, and so they just hype that up. And there's no way that the dude, was gassing his own people. Once again, minimal proof provided, and Trump totally gave the command. And one thing about Trump, is he's very quick to take credit for things. He's very ego-driven, and he boasted about that, bragged about it, etc., like he does everything. I mean, he's truly just a personality. It's a cult of personality. I don't know what you guys possibly see in Trump. I could go on for days about why no one should trust Trump. I mean, you can just simply Google Trump's donors BitChute, and it's game over, really. But so he did that. So I just had to call in just to push back on this. Oh, he's not a war hawk as well.
Well, what do you think about? I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I want to fully understand what you're saying. Are you saying that because it was under Trump that he was part of this whole deep state? Stop me if I'm not making sense. Right? I'm trying to use words to communicate here, but is that he's part of this deep state push to lie about chemical weapons to then, have a justification for further escalation in the region, etc., that kind of thing? You're saying
absolutely
because it happened under Trump that he was part of that?
No. See, that's the thing. I know what you're saying.
Because they're like rogue elements, right?
Huh?
There's rogue elements, right? The State Department and all that.
Right.
Would you say there are rogue elements in the government?
Right, that in Congress you could say. However, Trump gave this command directly. I mean, he gave this directly and apparently boasted about it. And I see what you're saying. Again, I'm not sure if you guys are, and again, I don't know if it's because you're on JLP's payroll or what, but, are you guys still with the he's playing 6D chess thing? Because let's not forget, this is the same
I mean, you're talking about somebody else, man. I've never talked like that. And I mean... It's just you don't have to be saying things like that when I'm talking to you quite freely. You're speaking quite freely on my show. I'm.
Well, I don't know. You guys just lately have gotten a little. I mean, Hake's over here talking about. I know that's Hake, not you, but he's like, oh yeah, I got favorite people of the tribe. Like Netanyahu. Who was just admitted to just using America as a puppet. To get their dirty work done. So, I mean, you got all those funny things, brother.
Would you let's say, I understand you don't like Trump, but at one point you liked him, right?
Yeah, I think we all.
Would you
felt,
say?
oh my
would
God,
you say that Trump is this dirty, disgusting person for playing the Mexicans for saying I'm going to play the Mexicans when he was saying I'm going to make them pay for stuff? You know what I mean?
Oh, we all knew that was.
But you see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand that it's easy. Look, show me Bibi's influence, Israel's influence in American politics. I'm with you. Let's get it out. That's wrong. They want us to fight these wars. They want us to get going up, and it's crazy. I'm with you. But but you see, it's just quick to be like, I'm seeing people being quick to say things like you just said, like, and I don't know too much about Bibi Netanyahu. Okay, you should call Hake maybe, but you're saying.
Well, we could just focus on Trump.
No. But this is super interesting because it's quick. It's easy to be like, well, he's so disgusted in manipulating America for his own gain, right? And it's like, yeah, well, F you. We're America. You're Israel. F you. I'm with you. But Trump, like, I don't want that for us, though. You know what I mean? I want that for us. So when Trump was pulling a BB about Mexico, I wouldn't bat an eye. Am I making sense here?
Maybe.
Like, it's because it's Israel and BB. It's you seem to put on that spirit, but wouldn't you want that for us?
I could go on all day about Trump, and there's one huge thing. I see what you're saying, like, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh,
that'd be pretty boss if it was for us."
Well, the QAnon tards, they were saying, "Oh, it's all about 60 chess," but it's like this president, he pushed the jab. I mean, the lockdown, all that stuff happened under his watch, and he pushed the jab. I mean, what? And he did push the jab.
You really think Trump is with this whole? Because you're saying he pushed the jab, and it almost sounds like he's with this crowd of people who were forcing you. You got to do it. You're a grandma killer. Look at you. You want to kill grandmas. You stay inside. Da da da. You think he's with all them?
Well, I didn't see him say anything.
Yeah, he did. He was totally against He said the lockdown's got to end. This is too far. You can't be forcing people. You really think he's with those people? He's obviously on the freedom side. He's obviously on the. Yeah. You can't force people.
Oh, he's on the freedom side. That's why.
I mean, you want to judge him because he thinks the vax is a good thing. I mean, that's one thing. You could judge him on that, but he doesn't want to force people. You know, he's on the side of not forcing and the whole everybody who wanted the lockdowns and all the crazy mess. You know, he's not for all that.
I just don't see how in the truther movement, as I would call like your channel, maybe GLP, like in the truther movement, the left-right paradigm was just exposed forever ago. And as far as Trump goes, what I figured out in 2 months, it's taken everyone else a decade. And that's the only thing that I'm confused about. Another thing.
This is what's confusing, and let me clear it up. Because you want people to fight your wars the way you want them to. You want people to say the things you think are true, the things that you did research on. But that's not the truth I'm here talking about on my show. Okay? And I appreciate people who do that kind of work. Okay? I think there's clearly voices doing a great job on certain things. Let's say, I don't know, whatever topic. But this is what I'm about right here, pointing out like just the wrong spirit of things, because you're saying, oh, I'm this truther, I got so much truth, and then but you don't see you're turning on the only few friends you have in this world. You got this world that's against you. Got the government's against you. The Jews are against you. They want to jab you. They want to do this, and you got Trump on your side. And I understand you brought up good points. Let me engage with the actual stuff you're saying here. So that's kind of my thing in general. But Syria and all that, I'm not sure, man. Maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but I really think it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And this is coming from a simple ignorant person. But this is the only way I can see it. There's no way an establishment dude would talk about that, would talk about Iraq in that way, and be like, you knew there were weapons of mass destruction.
Right, but isn't that just again? He was calling the media fake news. He did and then of course about the Mexico and they're not sending their best, etc. Of course, he said some great things. But he has to play that role, because if he wasn't there to play that role, then guess what? All that energy would be diverted elsewhere. And in the left-right paradigm, where they have to maintain control, they have to provide that option. They have to let you have that avenue, you know?
Well, I just don't think so. I just think that's a step too far. I could be wrong. You know, the end all be all is not Trump. It's not you know what I mean? You still have your life to deal with. And I like dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you ask me, Nick, hey Nick, who you voting for? I heard what you said, man. And you know what? Interesting, thought-provoking things. I just don't think you're right. I just think you may have. I think you jumped the gun. I think you overreacted, and now you think the play here from the enemy is the grand conspiracy is actually the 60-70 chess move is actually they want Trump in because he's their guy and he's gonna keep the wars going and stuff. And I think you jumped too far. I think what you're saying is, I think you're clearly sober-minded and you've seen some information and you believe the way you believe, and you may be completely correct. I'm an ignorant person. But I just think you're wrong. But this is just me as a person.
But Nick, let me ask you, aren't some things objectively based? Like if I'm a constitutionalist, you know, I believe in that framework of the country. Trump, he also supported red flag laws, which is take the guns, then no due process, and then trial.
I mean,
there's...
I just think he's our guy. I see the bigger picture. I think he's our guy. I see the bigger picture.
All right. Well, I mean, again,
I think you're
we'll
tripping
have this
about
conversation 5 years from now, and
I could be wrong.
It's just going to be
this is what I honestly
saying,
believe.
I told you so.
Yeah, this was.
Oh, something else. Can I say one more thing about the NFL being rigged? Is that what we are talking about earlier?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so NFL is rigged now. To what degree? That's kind of hard. You know, in sports, it's kind of hard. Football and basketball are two games where literally, like in football, a holding call can be called literally on every play, right? Every play, there's some degree of holding. It's just whether the ref calls it or not. And so what I think is they're told to make the game interesting. That the refs used to be independent agency. Now they're owned by the NFL. So the NFL is an entertainment venue, so it says, hey, make this game as entertaining as possible. And I know this because my team, the Ravens, you know, back when I cared about that in 2012 won, and there's three particular comments that the players made. I don't know if everyone remembers. That was a Super Bowl where the power went out in New Orleans.
A tire went out?
And the power went out.
Power went out. Okay, I'm following.
Yeah, New Orleans in 2012. Everyone in your audience will know. But the power went out. It was Ravens versus 49ers. That particular season, it was brother versus brother. You had that storyline that was sold. And then Ray Lewis and a couple others. But Ray Lewis in particular said he was saying something about, you know, until that clock is done ticking, you know, I don't know what trick's going to happen. Just some weird stuff. And then if you look at, what was the Super Bowl? That dude was talking about a lot of the symbolism. After 9/11, I think like the year after 9/11, is either year of or after 9/11, they made it so the Patriots won, and the Patriots became this new team that was, you know, just going to do great, you know, to be patriotic, you know, just stuff like that.
Dang.
And then the Super Bowl ago with the Rams and the the Rams. They let the Rams win because it was their first year getting established in LA. They want to establish that solid fan base in LA where they can sell billions of dollars in merch. So, yeah, I definitely think football is rigged to a degree.
And just like that, football's rigged, folks.
I mean, I just think it's too. I think the refs are just told to make it interesting. I'm not saying that they pick exact winners and losers, but is it definitely rigged to a degree? I would definitely have to say so. Why wouldn't it be? It's an entertainment venue. It's a $16 billion industry. And did you know
you're smarter than that. You're not just gonna make assumptions like that. But interesting. I mean, you got me convinced. I mean, I'm mostly playing, but hey, you're making sense.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll let you go. Just in the future, I'll call back with plenty more. I'll call Hake or someone else. I used to do activism with a group a few years ago, and we kind of faced off with JLP back then. I've always loved JLP. But they were accused. I won't name I'm not going to name the clique I used to run with. But they clashed and, you know, called him a Talmudic Tom, etc.
No way.
But yeah, the Trump I understand why you guys like him. I understand who you guys want him to be. I think at the end of the day, we're all still on the same team. But
so why do you think all thoughts are lies? You seem to agree with Jesse on that.
That's just some brilliant philosophical. Yeah, I think about it almost daily when my thoughts are going crazy. I think, you know what?
So next time you're going crazy in your thoughts, go and think that Talmudic Tom.
But oh yeah, man, he's my listen. If the race war ever kicks off, ain't nobody touching my man's Jesse.
Nice. I could tell, man.
But the only thing.
I could tell it's cool.
No, he really is cool. And especially seeing that vintage footage of him back in the day. This is the warrior that's been in the fight for a long time. You know?
Yeah, so stop tripping and purity spiraling. You're like, oh, you got all these enemies. You got you got. I don't know. You didn't mention the Jews, but you know, the Jews are against you. This or that is against you. The Talmud. Oh well, you're saying Talmud. And hey, I'm not with the Talmud. Don't get me wrong. I'm not with the Talmud, but you're saying Talmudic Tom, the Jews. You got all these issues, and you want a purity spiral on Jesse. He's on your side.
No, I never called him that. He's cool. He's cool. He tells us what we need to hear. You know, white people need to stop being sissies, stop being scared. You know, he says a lot of good things. It's just the Trump. I don't know. For these things that I'm speaking, I notice
fascinating though. I'll have to consider some things. You know, I'm not. I just didn't know about. Syria,
yeah, you need to look into that. 60 missiles being launched at Syria.
I did hear you though, and I understood you. I think it's an overreaction, but that's my opinion. We're going in circles around a little bit, sir. Thank you for the call. Hey, you want to say one more thing before we move the wheels, or what?
No, that's it, man. You take it easy. You have a good weekend.
Call me again, RNC. Take care and enjoy your weekend.
Yep. Take care, bro. Take care.
Nice. Where are we at? We flying high. I think we still got plenty of flight ahead. Let's check the flight computer here. We might have to start descending soon. Hope you've been enjoying the show today so far. We're chilling. Didn't really get into the mind of Mencia here. Just enjoying the calls. All right, folks. Kick back, relax. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. Hold up. Before I leave here, before I go to take a little break here, I want to just thank Renee for the super chat. First class seat is all yours. Thank you, Renee. Renee's first class super chat reads: Cartoon Network logo that says Nick Stream t-shirt, an anchor tied to a baby's ankle while holding a USA flag, an airplane leaving chemtrails. All great ideas, Renee. I gotta get to work. Hillary T with the super chat. Thank you. First class is yours. No message there, but thank you for the support. Over on D Live, thank you. Aredja says, I'd like to upgrade my seat. I know the lovely flight attendants already came to you and brought you to the front. We're just acknowledging you now. Thank you. What's up, Mr. Nargis over there on D Live, and everybody on Rumble? Thank you. Much appreciated. You guys rock. What can we do here? I mean, what can I say? Hey, I'm enjoying the show. Hope you are too. Kick back, relax. I'll be right with you. Flight attendants, get the cabin prepared. We are starting our descent, our smooth descent into LaGuardia. Folks, I'm back. You know, Birdie Bound Brian called me earlier, and he said he mentioned the Kosha Dills interview on the Fallen State earlier with Jesse. You know, it was a good interview. I saw it, and there was one moment where the guest said something about being damned if I do, damned if I don't, about being a Jew, and his support or his thoughts on the conflict over there. And he was saying that, and I see your calls coming in, I will get to you, 760-515-3855. He was saying how, you know, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. They're going to be hated either way. And this is not a commentary on the conflict, on the sides and all that. But I'm commenting on him as a person living in America, an American. And his commentary on being damned if I do, damned if I don't. And I wonder if other people feel that way when they're talking about their culture or whatever. Like, I wonder if, I don't know, an Armenian wonders, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Nobody cares about Armenian genocide or whatever. I wonder if other cultures feel like that. And I bet you all do to some level. We might be seeing it on display with the people who are emotional right now. But you don't have to live like that. I realize you don't have to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. And if there's any, you know, there's all sorts of things being talked about. And there's some smart people bringing some, you know, even, I'll call it worldly, but I don't mean to counter signal, but bringing some worldly truth about politics and war. I think also a lot of lofty predictions of man with their fights, thinking they're God, right? That's there too. But I appreciate the people talking about the things that people don't want to talk about. But if there's a truth that the bond that I'm getting at, that if there's a truth that I'm being paid to, if there's a truth I'm being paid to push, it's this. You don't have to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't have to be a Jew. Because if you're a Jew, you have to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't have to be a this or that. Once you're something, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. They're the sides. The sides are created. And then you yourself, because you say, like you're Kosha Dills, for example, the guest on the Fallen State, and you see yourself as a Jew. You suddenly are unable to see life clearly. And if people woke up, if the world woke up to that as unlikely, as rare as it, oh, Nick, you should be talking about Israel's influence. How are you going to change anything? You're out here talking about anger. Well, then hey, we may agree on a lot, but we disagree on this. You may think I'm being paid to say this, but I honestly believe that this is the important stuff. This is the important topic. I am talking about the important stuff. Imagine if people overcame anger. Imagine if they forgave. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. You don't need to convince anyone of Israel. You don't need to convince women should love being at home and have love so that they may raise good children. You don't need to convince people of that because you're dealing with what matters, the important thing. I truly believe I'm talking about the big stuff. I'm talking about the big conspiracies. I'm talking about the deepest of conspiracies. The conspiracy that Satan is playing in our mind, making us believe anger is good. So, stop trying to make us fight your wars. Stop being Jewish and making us fight your wars. In my opinion, I'm talking about the real stuff. I'm talking about the real thing. You may think, oh, that's not going to change anything. But overcoming anger does change things. I didn't have to. There's so many people who don't, once overcoming anger, they start voting correctly. You know what I mean? You start voting right. All that gets fixed. Hey, but maybe you don't have that kind of faith. Maybe you're just like, whatever, Nick. Go talk about anger. Oh. I appreciate you calling my show. Speak freely about what you think is happening in the world. Maybe I'm wrong. Call me. 760-515-3855. I, in fact, have a call. Let me get to this caller. You're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, voicemail. What the? Okay, caller, you're on the air? Is this a caller?
Yeah. What's up, Nick?
Hey,
Zeus.
I think I got Zeus on the air. How you doing, sir?
You do have Zeus.
Zeus,
I'm
Florida.
doing pretty good. I got the farm to myself for like 2 weeks, so it's looking good.
Oh, okay. You solo on the farm, you said?
Solo on the farm for 2 weeks.
I know this is the place you're working for lately, right?
Yeah. I work, I live. Yeah.
How's that going, sir?
It's going good. Yesterday was the first day like I was on my own, and there's this one horse I was supposed to bring it in, and the thing was freaking out. Like it didn't want to let me put the halter on it, and so I was chasing around for like an hour and a half, and then finally this thing freaked out. It ran, and it tried to jump over the fence, and the fence is like 5 foot, so it didn't clear it. Its hooves clipped the fence, and boom, it flipped, and it didn't move, and I was like, oh, shoot, this horse is dead. And I started walking up towards it, and it started moving, and I was going to try to put the halter on it, and it got up, and guess what it did?
I got out.
It ran straight into its stall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
all that
hilarious.
wrestling.
I know, we wasted an hour and a half on it.
All that wrestling.
I also got shoulder checked by another horse, but other than that, it's been really good.
That's pretty cool, dealing with the animals. This is a almost long-lost art to so many of us city folk. And
it's very peaceful, and it's interesting, like, just doing it, and, like, I don't know, I'll just be listening to, like, audiobooks, or, like, sometimes I'll be listening to some of the shows, and I don't know, it's really nice, and I enjoy it. But that's not what I called for.
Okay.
I called to clear my good name.
Oh,
you said earlier
who's
that
been
I
sullying the
said,
name of Zeus?
You said earlier that I said I was going to vote for Ron DeSantis. How dare you?
Did I say that about you?
You said that.
Oh,
I
did. I did say that about you.
Yeah.
I got you confused, man.
Well,
I saw you in the chat later, I think. I saw you. That's not you.
I would never vote for that meatball. But,
meatball Ron. Hey.
Meatball Ron. All I said, cause I did say something like a few weeks ago. It was when we were talking about, I don't know, right before the Hamas attacked Israel. We were talking about. All I said was that Trump was a Zionist.
Right,
and that's
I
one
remember
of the red flags for me on him, and that's all I'm saying. And the way I feel, I don't care if you're a Zionist, right? But I don't think if you're a president, you shouldn't be a Zionist. You shouldn't be pro for a different country. You should only be America first. And what Trump said is, and it was right after it happened. He said, "Oh, when I get in office, I'm going to send them more money." It's like they already get money from us. Why do they need more money? Yeah. They already have weapons. And I don't know if you heard this, and I don't know how true it is. I think it's true, but essentially what they said is that Egypt they had intelligence, and they let Israel know that they were going to attack, and Israel did nothing. And it kind of leads into that whole thing of them using that as an excuse to attack Palestine.
I mean, I remember this too. I saw those reports too. I mean, the reports. I mean, I'm not saying either side is right. I'm just to be fair and report the news. The reports you're talking about were in contention amongst different governments, right? So Egypt's saying one thing, but the other governments are saying other things.
That's the thing. Who knows what's
fair.
true anymore these days? Because all they do is lie to us.
Yeah.
And
I mean, honestly, the motive is there for both sides, in my opinion. Am I wrong? I mean, Hamas bombing their own hospital to get the Muslim world emotional, to care about Palestine, get the war going, and save them, or Israel bombing the hospital to do the exact same thing, get the Muslim world incensed, get America on their side, push out the Palestinians, and do whatever they want.
And that's the thing. They all lie to us. And the people behind the power, it may be some Jewish people, don't get me wrong, but who it is are the people with money, the people who want war so they can make money selling weapons. Those are the people in power. Those are the people that pay the politicians. Those are the people that tell the news to lie to us. And so at the end of the day, who knows what's true? Like, all of them lie to us.
But what you said about Zionism, I don't care if it's someone's Zionist. You know what? I think it does matter in this sense, what that word means. And I think everybody doesn't know what that means. But people believe that means something. And if you believe, I guess it means that I've been seeing people in Congress, Republicans, they call themselves evangelicals, Baptists. If you're one of these people who I don't know, has interpreted the Bible to mean to you that there's this prophecy you got to fulfill, and Israel, and I don't know what the heck. I don't know. If you ask me, that sounds a little nutty. If that's your definition of Zionism, well, I guess suddenly that matters. If your definition of Zionism is you believe the Jews should have a home, well, then I'm a Zionist. I mean, maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding, but I believe in nationalism for all. The Jews should have a home. I know it'll be difficult, but that's just my opinion.
You showed it yesterday on that clip where it was, I think, the new speaker, and then it was Lauren Hobart. And she was talking about how Hobart. She feels, she feels that I think she said America and Israel are chosen countries. Like, that's crazy talk to be doing as a person who's like helping lead a country, as a congressperson. And like, if that leads to World War III, obviously that's crazy talk. You shouldn't be thinking that way. And for that woman, with her lack of morals, to be speaking in that way, I find it hypocritical, and it's one of the reasons why I say that the whole, like, when I talk bad about Christians,
I understand where you're coming from, but don't judge Lauren Boebert. I heard her words, and honestly, just specifically what she said, I think she's just coming from where most people come from. I don't. She wasn't really saying the crazy, I don't know, the evangelical, the interpretation of the Bible stuff. She was saying the stuff that, like, a lot of Republicans and Christians say. They say, well, there were two nations created in the world to glorify God, Israel and U.S. And a lot of people believe that, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's like that normie conservatism. I doubt she truly has too deep of a thing about it either. But it's fair what you're saying, right? Because they're in Congress. Go on, I cut you off.
I don't feel like either country is glorify God. How are you glorifying God by killing children, or how are you glorifying God by giving money to
right? Their mentality is not like that.
Right?
Their mentality is, well, they share a kinship in the Christian history and story, and it's the promised land. I mean, the Holy Land and Jesus, and so all of that kind of works in tandem.
It's just propaganda to get Christian people to vote for him. Like the new speaker, I saw this video on Twitter where he's like, whenever I make a decision, I think of what the Bible would say. And then I saw another one where he says, the first thing I'm going to do when we're going to get money to Israel. And it's like, you're going to give money
I saw that.
So that these people can go to war, and that's something to do with the Bible. Like, I don't know. I don't buy that. And I think the people that do, I feel like it's just propaganda. It's no different when they tell the black people that the white people hate them, or when they tell women men hate them. It's like, it's all propaganda. And here's the thing. The people running the show, you know what they fear the most? What they fear is everyone just uniting, everyone being one people and throwing these people out of power. That's why they sow the seeds of division, to get Christians to hate on the Muslims, or to get... Go ahead.
I just said Trump to drive your point home.
Well, the thing is,
Trump. I mean, look, you can look. I too share people's cringe when I see, oh, this or that group for Trump, because it feels like, okay, what are we about? Are we just gonna pander to groups? You know what I mean? Let's be about the truth. Oh, blacks for Trump, women for Trump. But I can share a bit of that cringe, but also I can call out that y'all are being and I'm not saying you, but y'all are being
yeah,
y'all are being a little too lame about it. I mean, come on. What you're saying is unification. They fear it. Who's doing it? The Trump man.
I guess he that's the thing. A lot of people he is uniting a lot of different groups, and I just want to make it clear. I still roll with Trump. All I said is I don't like that kind of talk.
I hear you, man.
And at the end of the day, the reason I rolled with Trump and still do is because America first. I care about my country.
That's another definition for Zionism. If it's not America first, then then that matters.
Yeah, and that's the thing is our country is so we keep going more and more into debt. We're giving all this money to these other countries, and our country is being destroyed. Like, think about what happened in Hawaii. I bet so far they've given more money to Israel than they ever gave to Hawaii. And that's the thing is that's what all these people do. And these politicians are controlled by someone else, and they're the ones making money, sending these money off to Israel and to Ukraine for weapons. And all I care about
we
is
may
America.
be jumping the gun on the speaker
too. I don't know. I don't trust him. He seems kind of like everything I've seen.
But you don't know anything about him, to be honest.
I know.
I saw that too. He said his first bill or whatever is going to be Israel, but we don't really know anything about him, do we?
He said Nancy Pelosi is a nice lady.
She might be a nice lady. I didn't see what he said.
He said
you know how evil people, you know how charming and nice people politicians can be. She's probably nice as heck, and on when things are on the up and up. You know what I mean?
I don't know. All I know is that if he and at the end of the day, I guess you got to work with her to get stuff passed or whatever. But in reality, him saying she's nice on a report or whatever is not going to make her agree with him and then be like, okay, all of a sudden now I'm going to start supporting America. She's bought and owned by people, and she's not going to change her. She's not going to change unless we all come up with money to give her. And we're obviously people don't work together, so it ain't going to happen. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll be great. You never know. All I'm saying is from what I've seen from the guy, I'm not that impressed. And I just feel I don't know. I hope Trump, at this current moment, I hope Trump wins 2024. And I hope he doesn't get in there and just give a bunch of money to Israel, because then I'm just going to be disappointed. And I don't know. I just
sometimes you got to play the game.
Country. Got to fix
I'm
America,
hearing some
man.
people say that sometimes you got to play the game. You know, someone told me about you know what, I just forgot. What the Zeus, man, anything else you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Sure. I'd like to shout out the real Mr. Mad for the double shot of Maker's Mark. Appreciate it.
Mr. Mad, always a pleasure to speak with him, and yourself as well, Zeus. Call me again.
All right. Have a good weekend, Nick. Later.
Take care. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓, NTP, thank you for the first class super chat. First class ticket is all yours. Come on down and sit in your first class seat. We have them fancy reclining seats. Oh, they go all the way. They go all the way. Your legsies can go all the way out, and you can have yourself a little nap. You can have yourself a little nap. Yes, you can on Delta Airlines. We love Delta Airlines. And so thank you, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓. Let me see. Aredja, I already welcomed you. Aredja. Oh, thank you, Ohio Sentinel. What's up, Nick Rico? I've never seen that name in my Rumble chat. What's up, Nick Rico? Yes, of course you can have another. Ladies, Nick Rico needs peanuts. He's been asking for another pack of peanuts. Okay, please, ladies. Nice. And let me make sure everything's cool here. What's up, Twitch? Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch. Soon I'll have an interactive Twitch where you'll be able to control the plane from my Twitch chat. Okay, what are y'all saying in the chat? Lines are open. And we are descending. We are, in fact, now at 18,000 feet. We need to get down to 11,000 feet to reach our first altitude marker here. In our approach to LaGuardia International in Queens, New York. What can I say? Things going well so far. Get the man his peanuts. Thank you. Oh, wow. Back-to-back calls. I do appreciate it, y'all.
Frederick, L.A.
And we got Fred. Hey, I didn't know you were in the chat. What's up, Frederick?
What's going on, Nick?
Welcome, sir. How you been?
I've been doing all right, We talking about what we talking about? You want to talk about
Mess.
the speaker? You want to talk about Israel? You want to talk about
What was the first one you said?
The Speaker of the House.
I want to talk about. No, I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, because I don't know too much about the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't. But I think he done shot himself in the foot already.
What makes you say that?
A lot of people are surfaced in this video saying that his black son's gonna be treated a little harder in life than his white kid. And they don't like it. Yeah. he's
Okay.
getting a little slack
I
for
saw
that.
this. Don't
Don't worry about it.
So-
That's
so-
just
so-
the media,
so-
man. Why don't they focus on that? They made sure you seen that. You see
It's
that?
come on. I want to ask your opinion on it because it's a little strange. But I have to say, I know I saw the Israel video too, but it's like, I don't think it's time to be jumping the gun here, honestly. Because think about it,
Right.
like in a war like this, you got to understand the Speaker of the House is supposed to unify the Republicans here, right? And you know that there's people in there that are like, okay, well, holy crap, Israel, we got to send them money, right? The same way they sent Ukraine money. So who's gonna,
Right.
you know what I mean? Maybe a bit too quick to. But you're mentioning this other thing. He has a black child, correct? He adopted a black child. What do you know about this?
Yes. Yep. So therefore, I'm thinking, he knows he's not gonna be in that position long. I don't think. I think he's just a front man to do what needs to be done, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a yes man, as far as I see. They're not gonna put nobody in there controversial, or they would have left Jim Jordan in there.
Okay,
But,
I can agree with you.
These laws that's about to change, I think, from these shootings in Maine.
Wait, I don't want to move on just yet.
Okay.
But what do you think about that? You agree with what he said, that his black son, has a different experience in America, and due to him being black, he doesn't have the same opportunities as his white kid, or whatever?
I think he believes it.
I mean, he definitely believes it. But
But he believes it. You know, he's gonna move accordingly and taking the heat for it down the road. You're gonna have to. I don't know if he's of Jewish descent or not.
Oh, get that
Like
early life
Johnson?
check.
I don't know. If they keeping that kind of on the hush hush, he might have just got in there because.
Yeah, the people want to know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Nowadays, everyone's checking that.
Yeah,
That's funny. So you're saying you haven't been able to figure that one out? Like it's under wraps, in your opinion?
Hey, usually you would know by now, right?
I don't
You got
know.
that.
I don't really. I don't
He was
go
an
around early life
election-
checking that much.
And he's an election denier, so we don't know. But
Oh yeah, they called him an election denier, so he's kind of based then.
But he's gonna kiss that wall. Can we have somebody that's
Come
not
on,
gonna
man.
kiss that wall?
Say again.
I'm looking for somebody that's not gonna kiss that wall. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in love with that wall over there, and it's just not good for us. A theocracy is not what we need. A government ran on love for a belief system. When another belief system outnumbers this belief system, there's no telling what the rule is, what this United States is gonna look like.
But there has to be
founders of this
one.
country, they separated church and state.
But there has to be one.
They don't have.
You're talking about a fantasy.
No.
That's not how people live. That's not how societies build themselves. You're talking about an atheist fantasy. They tried that in Europe, and they're doing that here. But remember, they did that. They're like, let's be atheists, and they got to enjoy that for a total of what, like 3 years, and then now it's like, sorry, atheists, your society is now Muslim because you didn't pick one.
Nick, what if you found out tomorrow that all the politicians were atheists and they just playing a role?
Well, everyone. I mean, the thing is, they are though. That's the paradox. Most people live as they are atheists.
But you're saying a society couldn't exist on atheists, but therefore a society.
But you're no. You're
atheists.
taking it one step further and going into fantasy land, where I understand that. Where I can understand that you can call yourself something and you're not that, right? You could say you believe in God, you could say you have faith, but there's a difference in living it. there's a difference between me understanding that common sense and you saying, well, there can't be any religion or anything like, or belief system or whatever, because when one beats out the other one, you have mess, blah blah blah. But I'm saying that's you've gone into fantasy land. Man doesn't live like that. When there's a vacuum, what you're talking about is that vacuum gets filled pretty quick.
No.
By some other belief system or other religion or other government.
I don't think the laws we have in place right now are Christian laws.
Well, sure. I'm sure there's plenty of it. I mean, it's a far cry from the original idea here. But at the same time, you're saying not Christian laws, but at the same time, they're representative of them. And I'm sure there's plenty of them that still are. What I mean is they were inspired by a Christian thing. So what you're describing is, all you're saying is we're living in the dilapidated home of those values. You're saying it needs to be replaced. I'm saying we got to build it back up.
No. That means you're going to have to make, because we depend on other countries to make this export-import thing work. So if we're doing business,
help me understand what you're saying by that.
Countries,
we rely on other countries to make this whole trade thing work in the world?
Yes.
Okay, I'm following.
Okay. So if we're doing business and keeping religion out of it, as we have been doing, other countries will work with us. But if we're only controlled by religion and we're putting hope in position, or whoever we think is the most righteous is who we voting for, that's not gonna be the decision makers that's representing the people. There's gonna be some people representing the church, and the church don't always represent the people.
I think I'm following. Let me gather my thoughts here.
Represent the people, not the church.
Okay.
That's what's okay for the church is not always okay for the people. Have you heard?
But you're talking about that's an old. When the church had that kind of power, like, tell me if I've totally misunderstood you here. But the power you're talking the church had, that's in the Western European monarchies time. You know, we're in the liberal world order, and we've been in the liberal world order for the past 100+ years. And this oppressive church, is this what you're talking about? That hasn't existed in a long time. And I'm not even talking about that. I don't even know where to start with that.
You don't think the central bank is the church?
Do I think the central bank is the church?
J.P. Morgan.
I think they have a belief system, and they influence the world and the country like that. Is that what you mean? They're not just we're the Federal Reserve and they have a philosophy and a way they see the world.
How many countries have that same philosophy?
I don't know.
27.
Help me understand what you mean.
Federal. They print
you're saying 27 countries in this planet have a central banking system?
Federal system, yes. They mine the money and then they use their government's treasury to print the money for the people and tell them how much inflation is rising and falling this year and how much their dollar's worth.
I'm following.
How many countries?
27 apparently.
Yeah, and they're all connected. And those 27 countries is the opposite of the OPEC. So OPEC are the Arab countries.
Yes.
They run the oil. They got Venezuela, Brazil, BRICS pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
I'm following.
Okay. So, therefore, when you don't have a product to produce like Israel and the United States, when you run out and have to do business with the Muslims and everybody's xenophobic, what are you going to do? When oil is your only currency and you don't have no more, you got to take land, but these other countries ain't with you. The UN, that chief I was telling you that they wanted to step down, he's not stepping down because he said some anti-Semitic stuff.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
He's stepping down?
Mm-mm. I don't think he is.
Oh, no. There was reports that he was going to or something?
Bibi called for him to step down, And the United States want him to step down because he said that. But the UN, they're gonna isolate themselves. Israel's waking up to how many people.
I don't see him stepping down. I saw this video and it was they had like an ambassador from Israel.
That's how entitled Israel think they are in this world. They running it.
They definitely don't have the UN backing. I think I'm just to add to that. I mean, I think what you're saying is true because I saw evidence of it. And in the UN, they had this speaker from Israel, and there was no standing ovation, no clapping. And then right after that, someone from Palestine, and it was a standing ovation, thunderous applause. And I'm like,
yeah, they know what's
they picked their side there.
Yep, and they got to borrow the oil from the people around them, which is the Arabs, the Russians, and they're not trying to pay top dollar and be in this fight this winter when it get cold, because oil is a commodity when it gets cold.
Okay, I mean, interesting, right? Like, it sounds like you have a grasp on a couple of things here that I'm not too aware of. But
OPEC
we totally pivoted from the original point here, and it seems to me that you were trying to describe that you can have you can build a society without a belief in something.
Yes, just straight up do business according to business.
Yeah, but you don't need religion. Like, you don't need to be a theocratic nation to trade. You know what I mean? You're not trading with other nations to make them.
But when you got the people in charge and lobbying for politicians and putting politicians in place to uplift them and save them tax breaks and loopholes where corporations see, how did Ford have all this money to pay 40% raises? They've been pimping for 10 years. They had that money. They didn't want to pay that money.
Oh. I didn't know about that.
They had that money. But corporations do that, and they need unions to fight for it, or they won't get it. See, it's all a charade, man. They playing with it. I ain't playing with me. I got mine. I ain't working for them. My mom always knew. It's always the man. It's always the man. When I was like 13, 14, I was like, man, I ain't get hard. The man came in there and the man hated on me. She's like, it's always the man, Fred. You got locked up. It's the man.
Who said that to you?
My mama.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was hard on me. I was like, all right, cool. Then come find out, it was the monster man. Yep.
Mama was right.
Watch Vice Louisville investigations where they got police being crooked, stealing money. They don't have to turn in no money from any investigations or raids. That's all just confiscated.
Mama was right.
It was the man. The police is robbing me. I ain't doing nothing.
Frederick,
I'm going to work. I get pulled over. They say they smell it.
Wow.
I wasn't even smoking weed.
I mean, if that happened, that's wrong, and that's just wrong. But listen, no, that's just absolutely wrong. You know that I wouldn't. You know that I'm straight up like that. But listen,
I'm fresh off.
I want to know, because hey, Frederick, you calling us? You told us it was the man. I want to know how the man kept Frederick down. What did the man do to you?
Stop him, Fred. Try to tag and release the black man.
But how did the man keep you down, though? How did he keep you down? How did he keep Frederick down? How did the man keep Frederick down?
They lock you up. They put a number on you where you can't.
You don't have to. I don't want you to tell us personal stuff here, but you're telling me the man locked you up and it wasn't your fault?
No, they just do that regardless. Yeah.
No, but how did the man keep Frederick down? Is Frederick down or is he up?
No.
Because Frederick sounds pretty up.
Yeah, I'm pretty up. But
so the man didn't keep Fred. So Mama was wrong.
Yeah, she was kind to because she taught me how to outsmart him. So you gotta learn. It's wrong to learn how to even play their game to outsmart them because the whole system needs to be fixed. I understand what they're doing. They try to hold these carrots and tokens in front of your head. Of course, they're going to try to jump and use these social programs. But these social programs is just tax write-offs that they got to give out money to collect and print more money that they're going to mine out of us to put us in debt. And once you get in debt, it's the interest that they keep you in debt on. So you can't move up and you're stuck in this neighborhood. And then it happened to the slave owners. When they loaned all of these slave ships the money to get over here, and then the Jews paid for you need 100 slaves, we'll finance you. and then they added the interest, and when they left, yeah, they left with all the money. They took it all back over to England. They took it all like to Britain. Like, okay, can we buy our land? Can we have this after the Ottoman Empire? Because over here in Germany, they catching on to us mining them over here. So we're gonna mine them until we can get our own shit.
I think I heard something
They
about that
always
from
been
Ann
kicked out of
Coulter.
everywhere they been at. They always been kicked out.
I think I heard something about that from Ann Coulter, something like that, about
Yeah,
these
they
ships.
but-
About in Britain, the British were trying to actually turn away these slave ships or something like that.
Yeah, because they was financing them and it was making them so much money. It's ridiculous. But if they don't assimilate, even in our country, they don't need to belong. You can't just have your own circle and not assimilating your laws and y'all do y'all own thing and circle y'all money and y'all own. If that's the case, we gonna label that a monopoly and say y'all trying to sew up the board because y'all taking it overseas. It's a leak in the pool, and they the biggest leak, and ain't nobody patching it up. You know what I'm saying? And we
A little bit. There's a lot I don't. There's a lot I don't know about the information you're saying.
31 trillion.
My thing is the blaming. That's my thing, because there's a lot I don't know about the information. If I may, just a little bit. If I may, just a little bit. There's a lot I don't know about the information. I mean, there's points in history where governments have signaled out groups or whatever in defense of the worker. You know, I'm thinking of like England, and they were clipping the coins so that they could steal the silver, and that, you know, the government has that right, I think, to protect the worker.
But the government don't mean it's
But that
right,
being
though,
said,
Nick.
my thing is the blaming, and I know you said a lot of smart things, but you know, here's Frederick not down, and he wants to tell other people that something is keeping them down when he's not down, and I find that to be just it's evil.
That's
I
not
thought
evil.
you don't love
That's not evil.
you don't love others to show them how nothing kept you down.
I love others.
There's
so
evil
much,
in the
I
world,
tell
man.
them,
There's evil in the world,
Let
man.
me
I'm not with you. Like, but here you are telling people, you're literally telling them that something kept them down, and here you are, nothing keeping you down.
Look
What kind
up
of
Bronx
shyster
Zoo.
are you?
Look up Bronx Zoo. Ediba is a little boy that used to be in the enclosure with the monkeys that everybody used to walk and go see. They was raised this little kid. They snatched him. He was a little pygmy, and they said blacks wasn't even real like civilized humans. This was all the way up until the 50s. This Dr. Agissi, Agissiz, said that blacks wasn't, they were savages, and the whole world treated them like that. Through the 1850s, I'm talking about.
That sounds horrible,
all the
man.
way
Look,
because
that
of
sounds
what
horrible, but I
society
don't see
said.
that, and I don't see that happening commonly. You know what is commonly? I don't see this.
Commonly,
I don't
it
see
was
this
set-
doctor. I don't see the story that you just said playing out in America on
Because they
large.
figured out he
No.
was
I
lying.
want you to respond to this. Hold on, let me say it. I don't see that story playing out. You know what I do see playing out a lot, constantly? The story you told me about your mom, where you got these mothers telling their kids, you're gonna be held down, you're gonna have problems, they hate you, da. So I understand what you told me about this elephant. Sounds
My mom
horrible. It
ain't
sounds
tell me
evil.
that.
I disagree with it, man. I'm with you, but I don't see
mom
that
ain't tell
happening
me that.
commonly. You know what happens constantly though? The story you told me about your mother. You got these mothers out here telling their kids that this, you know, all this stuff.
No, see, I was telling my mother that the white man was held me down. She said that's always your excuse. She never agreed with me.
Oh, right on.
I was telling her the white man's hold me down. I didn't get. She's like, yeah, it's always a white man. And then eventually, when she started seeing these investigations of the police and these Breonna Taylors and all this other stuff that was happening in our own city, she was like, dang, you right. But back when I was born, I'm 47. So I graduated in 95. And that was when we had the highest murder rates in Louisville, Kentucky, and stuff was really popping off. About it. I'm talking about the police was scared. It wasn't no cameras. I'm talking about, And we went through that before it got marches and all that stuff now. It wasn't no marches during then. We had to fend for ourselves. And she wasn't seeing the brutality of them planting dope and pulling us over for no reason and planting guns. The cops always had a gun that they called flare guns, and they'll throw it on you if you ain't got a gun if they shoot you on accident. And we knew that shit, and they laugh about and talked about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you don't see it on TV, of course, because them days are past. But right now, yeah, it's just still out there, and it's because of the American people believe that scientists, and they said, okay, that science is full of shit. These black people are equal to white people. Let's quit treating them like that, is why you don't see it today. But until them people that stop believing the elite top people in government that was putting out these studies saying that blacks was 3/5 of a man and not mentally able to do this shit, then shit start changing, because every white person's mentality is like they're subhuman. So if you constantly put out messages that black people are subhuman, they're going to get treated that way, and it's just not going to go away overnight. That's my thought. But it's God's plan. He made y'all see that, and that's why it changed. It ain't me or what they did. You know what I'm saying? That little boy started rebelling because he was left there. He started fighting people and doing all this. He said, he's unruly. You need to come get him. He's no more waving at the guest and acting friendly. He could talk to orangutans and stuff. A little black kid kept him on display almost 40 years.
I don't know, man. It's just, you're talking about things that people don't experience. Now, if it's a different thing, what you're saying, like experiencing it, and it's like, well, that's horrible. Obviously, you know that I'm not with that. But that's just not a common experience. It just isn't. It just isn't. It's just not a common experience. People aren't out here being all the things that you said. It's not. What is happening is they're getting the talk. They're getting told all this information. They're getting told. They're getting in the schools. Oh, slavery, this and all this. That's what's happening. You're living. What you're describing is like, yeah, if that was happening, if that was reality, yeah, that would be horrible. But that's not what's going on.
Right. Why are they so scared? Why are Americans so scared right now?
Fear.
Immigrants or anything. Like.
Well, I don't know if it's always scared, man. I mean, obviously Americans have fear. That's clear because look at the state of things. But you know.
Things are safer than they ever been.
You're saying safer?
Yeah, in the last 200 years.
Oh, you had to add that in after. You had to add, you had to add that in the last 200 years, right?
What were you talking about last week? 2 years ago?
Or our whole lifetimes. How about that? How about our whole lifetimes? How about you have to pick a number that was more than our lifetimes? How about our whole lifetimes, literally both of us, from beginning to end?
This is right now. This is the safest time.
Oh, come on.
That's what they say.
Who says that?
They say this is the safest time. They said back in like.
Yeah. They say that in the modern age, in the last 200 years, we've lifted more people out of abject poverty than ever before. Advancements. I understand. Is that what, if you're talking about that? Yeah, I've heard that. But I don't know. It's kind of fantasy land. Look at our country right now.
Is about to pop off. I bet you 2 days.
And you cannot. They're walking, brother. They're walking, brother. They're walking. Like Cenk Uygur they're trying to tell his young radical nephew Hassan Piker about crime. He's like, nah, dude, that's just propaganda. We're in the safest time ever. And Cenk Uygur it's like, I'm talking to like this person. They're walking out of the stores, brother. They're walking. They're walking. Brother, they're literally just walking up and just taking whatever they want, dude. They're walking. Where's the law? Where's the law?
There's not a violent crime, though.
Say again?
Petty theft.
Say it again. It's muffled. Oh,
that's not a violent crime. That's a petty theft.
What do you think? How do you think that all leads? You've heard of broken windows policing. I think that makes sense to me.
We got bigger stuff to cry for. I mean, I don't know.
Frederick, man, I spent a lot of time with you, sir. Anything else you want to say before we move the wheels?
It was something else. Something else about carbonated water, but I forgot.
The Abrahamic sodas.
Yeah. Nah, we good. We good.
Call me again, sir.
All right. I think we gonna move the wheels. They trying to do their little raids over in Israel, so I'm just watching what happens and don't pick no sides. It's gonna be what it is.
God's plan. All right, sir. Call me again.
All right, have a good one, Nick. All right.
Oh man, back to back caller on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Nick?
Is this Marty?
No, it's not Marty. Yes, it's Marty.
What's up, Marty? How you been? Nice to hear from you.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All is well. You know, talking all this mess. People want to fight, and I'm here being all smarticle. Israel, Palestine, like I know what I'm talking about. What about you, Marty?
I just want to make sure. Huh?
You got something playing in the background. Just turn it off while you talk to me.
I got my TV going. I got to turn it down.
Just mute it while you talk to me.
Yeah, I mean,
We're out here talking about lofty things, like we know what we're talking about. What are you up to? Bring us back to reality a little bit.
Well, I got my MRI. I'm waiting on my results.
Oh, what do you mean results for what?
And on my MRI.
Oh, I didn't hear you say MRI. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some update on your status here.
Yes, sir.
Nice. I hope it comes out correct. How's the physical therapy been?
Oh, everything's good. I'm still trying to rotate my arm. It's kind of hard to do it, but yeah.
We'll keep at it. I know these things take a while.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes, but yeah, I'm good. I'm okay.
That means it's alive.
I'm still breathing. I'm still living. Yeah.
That means there's nerves in there. They're working. They're trying to come back to life.
Yeah,
Right on.
it hurts like hell, but yeah.
Nice.
So how you guys been doing?
Hey, all is well. We're chilling here. We're flying the plane. We are. I thought we were closer. I think we're about 8 nautical miles away. No, I don't know how far we are from the airport, but ain't no complaints. The flight's been nice. The calls have been nice. All is well.
I only can contact you now, man, because I can't do no more super chats anymore.
Oh no, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You've always been supportive, so don't worry about that. Only what you can.
Well, everybody's fine. Everybody's
Nice.
good. We're all good.
Yeah, same here. The boys are good. Jesse's fine. The shows are cool. And all is well with Bond in California.
Yeah, I'm still in California.
Oh,
I'm
that's
getting
right.
ready to move out.
Oh yeah, you've been here forever.
Yeah, all my life.
All of a sudden, what happened? Done with Cali?
Well, we've been trying to go, but COVID hit.
You going to Florida or something?
Hell no. I'm going to Nevada.
Okay.
I'm going to Nevada.
I hear good things.
I'm going to Nevada.
If you find a little oasis, keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Nice, Marty. It's nice to hear from you.
Well, I'm glad you guys are all doing okay. I'm good. I'm all right. Everybody's fine. Daughter's doing okay. She's got 2 more years to high school, and then she's gonna graduate.
Wow. Dang, high school. What a time. I wish y'all well. And I wish her well, too.
Thank you.
Call me again, Marty.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Nice. Take care. Oh, sorry, Marty. Nice little call, little love from Marty Waldo. I see the runway in our horizon, folks. Is it landing time already? What the? Am I reading this computer wrong? We're getting pretty close. That might be the runway. Oh, man. Lord, I'm a little too high up, I think. We need to slow down. All right, folks, kick back. What can I say? We got to get focused on this landing. So, kick back a little bit here. Oh, wait a second. This might be a completely different runway. I may have jumped the gun here. This is a different airport. I may have jumped the gun. Hold on. Oh. Okay, okay. Okay, folks, we got we're close. We're definitely close. We're definitely close. Okay, okay. What should we do now? What shall we do now? I mean, we've talked about it all. What are they saying on the news? Did they invade? Did they go in? Let's see here. What else here? You know, have you seen these TikToks from the IDF? You know, they have the mandatory. It's mandatory to serve 3 years in the Israeli army. I like that. I think that's cool. I'm seeing these TikToks of these girls in the Israeli military, and then you see, and then I was listening to, you know, you guys know I like assimilating cultures. What is it called? I like appropriating cultures. I like learning the anthems of other countries and different songs in different languages. I don't know. I like it. You guys were giving me crap for knowing Hatikva, the Israeli national anthem. It's a nice one. Nefesh Yehudi. But I was learning the Palestinian one out of posterity and wanting to know. I was learning the Palestinian national anthem. Fediya, I believe. Fidai. The Palestinian national anthem. Fidai, Fidai, It's Arabic. So I'm listening to this, right? And I'm looking up the words, and the lyrics are fascinating. You know, the lyrics to many anthems, you might think this is ridiculous. Like, whatever, it's just a song we used to sing in school. But at least closer to its founding, these anthems, you know, they speak to a deeper consciousness to the people. And you got to understand, Palestine is a nation that's not that old, and it's a nation that's been dealing with its situation since its beginning, or nation, or whatever you want to call it. It's been in the situation it's in now since 1948. And the lyrics to Fidei, Ya Ardi, Ya Ardi, Ya Ardal Yudud. It means warrior, oh my land, the land of my ancestors. Warrior, 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 oh my people, people of eternity. It's like, oh, that's nice. I get it. You know, ancestors, Palestine. You know, you guys call it occupation, da-da-da. But you go on to the next stanza, or the next whatever, and it says, with my determination, this is the lyrics to Fidei, my fire in the volcano of my vendetta, with the longing in my blood for my land and my home, I have climbed the mountains and fought the wars. Okay, here it is. By the land and nation, the fire of pain, with the longing in my blood, fire and the volcano of my vendetta. It's an anthem of revenge. It's an anthem of war and revenge. Their whole thing hinges on this, at least the anthem does. And considering it a young nation, it might speak to a deeper thing here. And it's like, I can have an understanding on their plight and this and that side, and we can get nuanced about the whole thing. But putting aside the nuance, a founding in this way is like all things. When the thing is wrong at the get-go, you're setting yourself up for further pain down the road. And I wish them all well. I wish all these Semites well. You guys know this. This is a love stream. I wish all the Semites well. I wish the Jews a home, the Palestinians a home, but you know what I'm saying here. You understand? This is I like commenting on human nature so we can learn about our own individual lives. And a founding on anger is a setup for pain, in my opinion. An anthem of vendetta, an anthem of revenge. And you can have your understanding of it, but also, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Jessica, thank you for the super chat earlier. I hope you've been enjoying your first class seat. Love the flight, Nick. Still need the details on your music list. I'm going to set that up soon where you'll be able to just put a command in the chat and you'll be able to see what's playing. Okay? All right, folks. Kick back and relax a little bit. We're just going to vibe out now because we got to get ready for this landing. Thank you. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. But we have time for calls. 760-515-3855. Definitely calls. No worries about that. I think we have a little bit more than I thought. But, you know, let's vibe out, and definitely you can call in. 760-515-3855. The number is pinned in the chat.
Call from.
Hey, caller, you're on the air. Where are you calling from and your name, please?
Oh, my name, Nada.
What's up,
calling
Nada?
From Washington.
Hey, what's up, Nada, in the chat? Welcome. Appreciate it. How you been?
Oh, good. I just never called in to anybody, but I'm in all your chats.
I see you
all
always.
day. So.
Very cool. I appreciate the first time call here on the show. Very cool.
But
Over in Washington.
I just wanted to say I enjoy the show. Shout outs to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, big shout out.
You know, the snake pit. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got.
Very cool, man. Hey, how's Washington over there?
It's a little cold right now, but not too bad. I like it. I actually just moved there from Hawaii a couple of years ago.
Really?
I was watching back in Hawaii.
Are you a Hawaiian native?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not Hawaiian.
Like you were born there.
Like, ethnically. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You're one of them
right.
Interlopers. No, I'm just
I guess.
joking.
No,
That's a
actually
joke.
one of those.
You're from there.
Got there through the plantations, and you know, like my ancestors got there through the plantations, and
So
you know,
I
that
know
whole
Hawaii
thing.
has like multiple islands though, and you know.
Kauai is where the
Oh,
actual
gotcha.
island. Gotcha. Yeah, a little slower. Nice island though.
Nice. I hear. Is it
It's
true
nice.
they have the Crips and the Bloods out there?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I just saw some Vice documentary or something on that, and they got like.
Oh, really?
They got like young Hawaiians joining Crips and Bloods chapters or something out there.
Maybe. Might be from Oahu, where I moved from. It was kind of a mess during COVID, or what, you know. So I don't know why I came out here, but.
Well, I mean, it's closest to one of the first places you hit, I guess, coming this direction,
well,
right?
and after watching Australia, I didn't want to be on an island.
Oh yeah, you're done with the island. You're
Subject
done with
to
being
whatever.
You're done with the island stuff. You can't bug out
Yes,
on an
sir.
island.
No, nowhere to go.
Right on, man. Well, very cool. Hawaii to Washington.
But yeah, love the show. Keep it up. And I'm not looking at chat right now, but shout out to everybody in chat again. And maybe I'll call in the Hake or call you again or something.
Thank you, Nada. Appreciate you calling. Call me again.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Some love from Washington, huh? Very cool. I never did get into my tactical military stuff. We were talking about bug outs and ground invasions in Gaza. You know, the logistics of it all is fascinating to me. War is hell, but it's also exciting. I know, I'm sick. They're saying it's going to be a ground invasion, and the logistics of it is quite interesting, okay? You got to go into these tunnels, okay? Tunnel warfare. Like, I wanted to show you this channel, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, and this channel, he's a foreign fighter. They call themselves foreign fighters. They're basically a bunch of foreign nationals who've joined foreign armies. They've been doing this for a while. And the latest of which is, of course, Ukraine. I haven't heard anything from Israel. But these guys, they went off to fight for the Ukrainians. And you may have disagreements on that, like Americans going and fighting this war over there in Ukraine. But they found themselves doing the right thing. They whatever, these foreign fighters. Some of these guys, they filmed whole operations from beginning to end, like out in certain areas, like southern Ukraine, and they got it's like episodic. It's like from the beginning to end, GoPro video. It's fascinating. They have a whole they describe the whole thing, the mentality that they have while they're there. I wanted to, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We're gonna have a nice fun stream tomorrow. Should be chill. We're gonna do a commentary on the whole Alex Jones-Nick Fuentes debate appearance. I have some commentary about the world at large there, but also these two people are very knowledgeable, and I think we can bring a little insight with our own angle here. Also, we'll get into 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒑 tomorrow. I wanted to show you one of these videos quick on the tunnel warfare and what they're pretty much facing. I know I have a caller. I'm a little stuck. What should I do? We can leave 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒑 for tomorrow. I got a caller, though. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Nick, it's me again.
Marty, what's up? You double calling me.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the game, the crypt and the blood.
Oh, Marty knows a little something about the Crips and Bloods in Hawaii?
No.
Or in general?
I had, no, when I was growing up in Oakland, that's what they did.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what I mean?
What did they do? What did they do?
When I was growing up in Oakland, we had Crips and Bloods.
Oh, for real? You grew up around that?
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, wasn't around it, but I saw it.
You said Oakland?
Yeah.
I hear Oakland
I hear Oakland.
It can be
I'm at Oakland
pretty
Eastern.
gnarly sometimes. Is that true?
I'm a native Oakland.
I hear it can be pretty. I don't know if dangerous is the word, but that there's a gang activity there a lot. Is that fair to say?
No, I'm not. Don't do that.
Is that what?
No, I've seen it, but I have not been around. I haven't been around gangbangers.
Nice. Well, glad you didn't live around that. No, I
No,
hear
I'm just
Oakland's
saying
got that.
When I was growing up, I seen it. It was blue and red.
Oh, you saw the colors?
Yes.
Marty, I gotta let you go though. It's only one a day. I'm giving you. People can. I can't be stretching the rules here.
Okay, love you, Nick.
Thank you, Marty. Call me again. She didn't get to say anything in her last call, and we're trying to land here, and we're a little. We don't got any content. I mean, I could show you this tunnel video. Check it out. What they're facing. Tunnel warfare. Like, there's a way. There's a way smaller armies can deal with bigger armies. Guerrilla warfare. I've really been enjoying learning about guerrilla tactics as of late. You know, you never know when you'll be faced with a larger, stronger army. Might be nice to know. I know I'm LARPing a little bit, but keep your head on a swivel. War tunnels.
So I'm not here to go and bore you guys with everything that you know about the current news with Israel and Hamas.
Thank you.
I'm here to talk about the boring stuff. Literally the boring stuff, okay? The tunnels. I'm Mr. Tunnel Man. Wherever I go, everybody knows me as the tunnel dude. You know, that's because of my time in Iraq, and I wanted to give a different perspective on what the ground campaign into the Gaza Strip that Israel's about to embark on might look like, and some of the difficulties that they're going to deal with. So first of all, there's a lot of documentation about the tunnels that Hamas has, and although I don't have a map showing exactly how it spiderwebs out and how many bunkers there are and where they are, I'm sure Israel has some of that, but they do not have all. Tunnels are extremely accessible for...
Hold on. Sorry. I know I'm ruining the content. I need to slow down the plane. We need to slow down the plane here, okay? Slow it down. Get down to 4,000 feet. Because we're landing soon. Okay. Slow it down. I know. Great callers. Thank you, Jim Bro Slice. The tunnels in Afghanistan are nuts, says Matthew. Yes. So you got, if anybody knows about funnels of death, you could be a huge army, but you got a kilometer of tunnel ahead of you, a lot of people are going to die.
It just takes backbreaking work. It takes a little bit of TNT. They have tunnels leading into Egypt and back to the Gaza Strip. That way they can get supplies and weaponry, and that's how they were able to launch this massive attack. So first of all, I want to describe what tunnels are like and what they have. Obviously, tunnels protect you from air superiority, and they dig them down really, really deep from the videos that I've seen, which means that bunker busters are not going to be as effective, if effective at all. Turkey tried that against my group in Iraq, and it was not effective at all. It just didn't work. Even thermobaric bombs. I mean, there's so many exits and so many air vents.
Thermobaric bombs, they burn up the atmosphere.
They're not going to be able to just flood you out.
Burn up
with
the oxygen.
oxygen. And that's what it gives you. It gives you protection.
Thermobaric bombs will burn up the oxygen around you. So,
the ability to have freedom of movement, which is vital for.
But they have oxygen down there. They have oxygen tanks, gas masks.
I have my personal experience, and considering that
I'm seeing on Twitter. Oh, you'll hear them describe it, but they'll say flood the tunnels, just flood them or put gas down there. It's a modern castle, folks.
The videos that I've seen from 10 years ago show them with concrete, rebar, reinforced roofs and sidings to these tunnels. I wouldn't imagine that it's all the tunnels, but it's probably a good majority of them. They're living good. They're making sure that this guerrilla war is not going to end.
That looks so cozy.
And what do they have inside these tunnels?
I would learn every tunnel. I would learn how these everything that I would be able to go through these tunnels with my eyes closed. So cozy. Be a little tunnel dweller and protect my crew from a giant army.
We used to learn about the Vietnam War and how the Viet Cong guerrillas were able to sustain this extremely long war and even win. And it came down to these tunnel systems where they had everything that I had in Iraq. They have a kitchen. They have a place to sleep. They have electricity.
Why do you think they call Afghanistan the graveyard of empires? Graveyard of empires. That's Afghanistan. Many nations for many years have tried to invade Afghanistan, only to be defeated, to be driven out. Countless. It's known as the graveyard of empires. And them tunnels, you can be sure, are part of
generators
that.
and solar panels. They're going to have armories full of supplies. They're going to have logistics. I'm talking years and years and years of bottled water, potable water that is hiding inside those tunnels, waiting for an event like this, a ground campaign above their tunnels. They probably also do have steel doors inside.
No bug outs. Let's make tunnels. How do we start building tunnels in LA?
Some of the entrances, if not all. That's a very easy way to go make sure that shrapnel from grenades or whatever explosions, IEDs that they might have tripped over to the entrances to collapse them. Any of that shrapnel, any of that dust is not going to be able to penetrate. And from Iraq, I know this as well. Like, there will be tunnels where it'll go up and down 20 meters and that you climb by ladder. This way, the bunker busters don't really get you. It's just one entrance, you go down, and what motivated Israeli soldiers can be climbing down a ladder, going by rope down this tunnel into the abyss, where if he's injured, how he's going to get back up? It's not possible. It's not going to happen. And these tunnels, they spider web out into thousands of bunkers. There are thousands of mirror holes and bunkers everywhere, pocketing from inside buildings, and then you go into a tunnel and you go down to where you need to be, whether it's just straight up out of the earth, like into a farm or wherever. It's very easy to camouflage. You just put a little roof with a little bit of sand on top of it and kick it out, just like the 𝒂𝒂𝒔. Just like the 𝒂𝒂𝒔. It's a very simple way to do this, and a lot of these entrances are not known by anybody except for those who need to know. The next thing, right? Hamas obviously has propaganda. They are regular civilians in a lot of ways, but some of them are very, very dedicated fighters. A lot like the Kurds, who are not allowed to have phones for the reason of OPSEC and not being able to show where positions are and what's going on. I would guess that Hamas is the same thing. And the reason that I think that's the case is because they were able to do this giant campaign and kill like 1,000 Israelis, wound way more than that. And the Israeli government, which has Mossad, they have a lot of insider knowledge.
Used name says that they're not ready for this level of smoke. I mean, if these TikToks we're seeing are any indicators, I mean, I'm not the only one saying that though.
Wasn't able to pick up on it on the day of the attack, and that's insane. So they definitely have a good OPSEC culture, which means that there's a lot of hidden stuff, a lot of stuff that we will never know until maybe Israel clears it out. So yeah, tunnels. I've said it for years, and I'll say it again. This is not going to be an easy fight. This is not something you can win unless you get people inside there. Even you think about robots, like, just get a robot, strap a bomb to it, and get it down there. It's not going to work.
Here, some of you in the chat talking about robots. Here you go.
Is not something you can win unless you get people inside there. Even you think about robots, like, just get a robot, strap a bomb to it, and get it down there. It's not going to work. Attack dogs, no, it's not going to work. Steel doors on steel doors on steel.
You need dudes with rifles. That's how you take positions. This is the reality of war.
Hundreds of concrete rooms with blast doors, with armories and logistics in each one, beds, blankets, food, water, electricity. They have everything that they need, and it's really not a difficult thing to have. You can wire the electricity straight to a power line, or you can make it from a generator, which can actually be inside the tunnels and come out an air vent. So it gets air and it kicks out all the exhaust. There's some incredible carpentry.
They got Mario 64 up in here. They're speed running Mario 64 while they're getting bombed by Moabs and J-Dams. Right. Yo, they're even in the desert level. Awesome level here. Okay.
Everybody that I know that was in Iraq has dug tunnels. This is not going to be an easy fight. This is going to last a long time. This is not going to be like a day campaign. Where do you think the hostages are right now? They're in the tunnels. They are not out in the city. They are in the tunnels waiting to die, waiting to get executed, like Hamas has said. Most of the fighters are inside the tunnels right now, just waiting out the bombardment, waiting for the billions of dollars of explosives. Boom, 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 boom. It stops, and then they go out into their bunkers, and they shoot some people. That's how it's going to work. That's how it is. They probably even have tunnels leading into Israel. No, definitely they have that, like leading into Israel proper in order to launch raids from behind or launch...
Fascinating, huh? If you guys find this fascinating, we're going to get into some cool stuff tomorrow. We got full military for you mill head nerds like me. We're gonna be watching full operations in Ukraine, beginning to end. Pretty gruesome stuff, but fascinating and exciting. I know we're sick people. We're gonna be getting into Alex Jones versus Nick Fuentes. And then we're gonna even try and going into the internet and try and red pill the world, huh? Do a little, and maybe even learn something ourselves, huh? Maybe a little VR, a little TikTok live. We'll see what we can do. But folks, it's totally time to land. So just chill, y'all. It's time to land. What can I say? Let's do it. Let us do it. Oh, wait. Hold up. Uh-oh. Let's go.
Everybody's gone away. I believe this time they're gonna stay. There's not a soul I know around. Everybody's leaving town. Some caught a freight, some caught a plane. Find the sunshine, leave the rain. They said this town will waste your time. I guess they're right, it's wasting mine. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Charlie's got the blues. My heart keeps telling me you're not a kid at 33. You play around, you lose your wife. You play too long, you lose your life. I got my pills to ease the pain. Can't find a thing to
landing gear down.
I'd love to try and settle down, but everybody's leaving town. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Charlie's got the blues. At 33, you play around, you lose your wife. You play too long, you lose your life. I got my pills to ease the pain. Can't find a thing to ease the rain. I'd love to try and settle down, but everybody's leaving town. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Charlie's got the blues. Takes you far. You write about the moon, you dream about the stars. Losing old motel rooms, girls in daddy's cars. about the nights, you laugh about the scars. Coffee in the mornings, cocaine afternoons. You talk about the weather, you grin about the room. The phone calls long distance to tell you how you've been.
On our final turn, folks, thank you so much. Appreciate the patience. Hope you've enjoyed the flight so far.
And when you stop to let them know you got it down, it's just another down along the road. Ladies come to see you if your name still rings a bell. They give you down to nothing and they say they knew you well. So you tell them you'll remember, but they know it's just a game. And along the road their faces all begin to look the same. And when you stop to let them know you got it down, it's just another down along the road. It isn't for the money, and it's only for a while. Let's talk about the rules, you roll away the miles. Gamblers in the neon, clinging to guitars. You're right about the moon, you're wrong about the stars. When you stop, let them know you got it down. It's just another town along the road.
Oh, I said goodbye. I said goodbye, and I wasn't even talking. I was saying, guys, thank you so much. I was saying thank you. Join me tomorrow. I got to stream tomorrow. We're going to stream early in the morning. I'm thinking early evening. Early in the morning, I'm thinking. Otherwise, I was telling you guys, make sure you follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss it when I do go live, as we're going to have a fun tomorrow. Should be cozy stream. I was saying goodnight to all of you. I was saying thank you. If I was muted, I was saying thank you for your continued patronage on Anchor Baby Airlines. And to have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.